It's a Sebon Podcast Show. It's a Sebon Podcast Show. Everybody's welcome. Peace and love. It's a Sebon Podcast Show. Bam, we're live.
Bam, we're live. Okay. Sorry about the late scheduling. We had a little mishap this morning. We forgot to put this one up. But we are here. I am here. Greg has the link. He should be here any second. I think I got a question that's so big, so fun, so stimulating that it's going to be just a one question show. Actually, two questions. I'm gonna start with a simple one, and then the big one. Who is the guy who wanted to take over the world? He was in the lineage of Aristotle, Socrates, and Plato. Who was that guy? What was that guy at 33? He'd conquered the Rome. Was it Caesar? Who was that? Does anyone know? Someone tell me. Hi, Audrey. Good morning. Kenneth, what's up? This entire show, my podcast is, Alexander the Great. Dang, Kenneth, that's who it is. Alexander the Great. Thank you. I'm going to work that name into my question for Greg. Thank you, Caesar. I know I was thinking Caesar too. Great minds think alike, Judy. But I think Kenneth is right. I hope I'm on the tail end of this, whatever this coughing is. Bernie Gannon. Better late than never. Old trusted Bernie. Old trustworthy Bernie. Bernie, is that really you in your picture? Where did you come from? I think of, I probably shouldn't say this is going to hurt someone's feelings, but I think of all the listeners in the chat. You're the one I'm like, you're kind of a head scratcher. I kind of want to know more. Yes, that is you. Wow. Are you flying an airplane in there? What are you doing with your headphones on? What's going on with your headphones? God, you look like Robert. Is it Robert Downey Jr.? Alexander the Satisfactory. Okay, fine. Oh, gun range. Wow. Gun range. Keeping it real. Hey, dude, you made a comment the other day in the YouTube section that you thought I didn't like you. I don't dislike you. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know you. I don't dislike you. I don't have any ill thoughts. I'm sorry if it came across like that. I don't want anyone to like pick up on, well, unless I want them to pick up on the fact that I don't like them. Elizabeth, good morning and happy Wednesday. Yeah. I'm so excited. I'm as excited for, the link goes to darkness. I'm as excited for tomorrow's debate as I am excited about like a UFC fight. That's how it's like that for me. I feel like it's a fight. Dan Guerrero, good morning. Where I saw you said good morning. I lost it. Sorry. I'm hungry. Drink some Dave Castro olive oil. TDCmercantile.com. Where's the coach? He's coming. Thank goodness it's hump day. What's that mean? Is that what Wednesdays are? Hump day? Or just like just any day you bone? Ever since the real Kenneth DeLapp, ever since the real Hawaiian was on, I keep getting fed power slap videos. I did a Chase and Bill's show yesterday. That was kind of fun. I wonder what you guys thought. Did you if I seemed like I was out of my comfort zone? I definitely was out of my comfort zone. As much as I love these shows with Greg too, and they're so easy for me, they're a little out of my comfort zone too. Oh, great show. Oh, cool. I feel that I'm quiet. I'm quiet. The volume's low. I feel like when I'm invited onto those shows, I'm constantly managing whether I'm bringing enough energy to the show that I'm adding value to it, and then also like being cognizant, being aware of that it's not my show. Yo,
what up?
What's up, dude?
I clicked on this thing like 3-4 minutes ago, and it just went to blackness.
Yeah, I gave you a new link. That's probably my fault. I probably send you a shitty link. That happens every once in a while.
It happens. How are
you? I'm great. I'm excited for tomorrow night. Like I'd be excited for a big UFC fight. You know what I mean? Like I feel that like I want to be sitting in a good chair and like be with friends and like like I'm going to a party.
Yeah, I mean it's the stakes are. It's a big deal.
Yeah. Hey,
it's complicated for a lot of people.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
Well, you got Dumb and Dumber, and you forget which one was which. But the difference here is crucial.
Yeah. The difference is one guy can't push his own shopping cart and the other guy puts his away.
Trump didn't put his shopping cart
away. Well, at least you know who I was talking to. At least you had the guys right. You know what I mean? That's enough for me. That's enough for me.
He'd let it roll off and ding someone's car. He doesn't give a fuck. That's my take on it. That would be my expectation.
I respectfully disagree. Greg, I want to propose this idea to you.
I gotta tell you though, the story has been over and over again that sitting around with the guy, he's a completely different person. So maybe he's got this. Which one was it? Barnum and Bailey, right?
Yeah, like people like being in his presence, right? Even people who didn't think they would.
No, maybe the great what do you call them? Little ringleaders. This guys in circuses. What's that called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, let me fix your.
I hate the circus.
Me too. Let me. Can you go to your gear down in the bottom where it says settings, and then click the audio button, and then on the top there should be something that says mic with a drop-down menu, and you should get to choose which mic you're going to use. Which mic does it say you're on?
I'm on the AirPods because you told me to.
Okay, maybe try. Let me just try the computer real quick. Can you choose that?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Look at, even your wife sent me a text. Greg's link isn't working.
I went out there and it was on.
She's a good dude.
Maggie's the best.
I try to respond to her as quick as I can. Do you see that drop down menu if you go to the gears?
Yeah. I'm trying to turn off the Bluetooth and I can't make it work.
Oh, now we lost your audio completely. Oh, now you got muted. Now you have to unmute yourself. Maybe Maggie's listening, she'll tell you. Now you have to unmute yourself. Can you hear me? In the lower bottom, there'll be like a line through your microphone. If you click on that microphone, it'll unmute you. And then we can start the show. You can't make it happen. Dude, I could read your lips. I didn't even know I could do that. We'll do the whole show where I read your lips. You see that picture of yourself in the bottom? Did you try clicking that little microphone? Or in the very bottom, there's a mute stop cam settings. Maybe you can click there. Oh, yeah.
Great.
Oh, you know what it was? Well, anyway, fuck it. Who cares? This is great.
Is that better?
Yeah. Greg is on testosterone replacement therapy. No, I don't think. Are you? Are you on steroids?
Not yet.
You're waiting till your 70th? Hey, so here's my question for you. Ready? It's a little long-winded. When a baby's born, it comes out into the world and it has some skills built into it in relationship to its caretakers, that its whole premise of existence under this like story that I'm going to tell you is for survival, right? Somehow make a connection with the mom, get on the tit, be kept warm at night, be protected. It has the survival skills it needs to manipulate the creatures around it, the mother and father, to provide for it. There's a relationship there that it's suited to get what it needs for ultimate survival, right? And then this baby grows up and goes through the phases of a man. And then on the other end, at 33, this creature in all its glory is Alexander the Great and wants to take over the whole fucking world. Right? That's this evolution of this creature from like, mommy, take care of me, to fucking, if the sun's up, I'm going to own that piece of land somewhere. You know, I want to own land where the sun's always on that land. Could you tell me the phases or the additions that you built onto CrossFit from being a 15-year-old boy who developed it for your own survival in the off season to this wanting to become the singular source for health and wellness and take the mantle from the CDC? Could we go through the phases that turned it into what it is? And its direct relationship to what you wanted for yourself in the world, what you know what I mean? It's kind of interesting. You picked up a stick at 15 and carried it until you were, 65. It's a trip, right? The same stick.
From my perspective, I would have to just attribute all of it to circumstance. I was musing the other day that I got into cycling, and I don't bicycle much, but I got a lot of bikes, and I'm still getting them.
Uh-huh.
I have a relationship with the two-wheel vehicle that's important to me. And I remember when I got my first bike when I was 8 years old, and I got my last one last week. And I learned a lot about what people call cardio. And what was really important to me was gymnastics. And so here I was riding a bike 9 miles to the gymnastics gym, right, to the high school. And farther on Saturdays to work out at one of the colleges that had open gymnastics, would routinely do that.
Okay, hold on. Sorry. You got to put the AirPod. I think you have to put the microphone didn't change, and this is going to be too good not to. So we'll just be patient and chill. Maybe put the AirPods back in, and then make sure you had them chosen. I think you just had them as the hearing piece, and maybe not as the mic piece, because it's using the mic on your studio.
It sure sounds better to me.
Yeah, that's better. Now we're closer to you. Okay, now it feels like I'm standing next to you. It automatically now switched to the right mic. Now we finally have the right mic.
Yeah, it was like this before, though.
Okay, well then fuck it.
At least
this
from
is
what I'm
better.
looking at.
Yeah, real Kevin. Good call,
All right,
Sevan. That was okay. So the bicycle. You got your first bike at 8, and you got your most recent one last week.
Bicycling was transportation for from in my youth into a lot of my adult life is how I got around by bike. And so you learn a lot about bicycling by biking a lot, My commute when I first came to Santa Cruz was 109 miles a week. And I was doing that on a mountain bike. And time was of the essence, so you're going at a pretty good clip. I used to gauge my success by being able to run down city buses and not have number 74 pass you again, And the gymnast in me was looking for strength support in the off season. Rings aren't available, not at least to me. And so I developed a lot of strength with dumbbells and barbells and pulleys and bullshit in the garage. And that was felt like out of necessity too. Now you add to all of that a kind of laziness that I like being in the gym. I like working out. I liked, it was just it's a great kid's job. And I learned a lot, but I knew a lot. And then filter all of that through the being brought up by my old man. What happened is at the moment that I realized that, I'm rapidly approaching middle age, and
What would that be?
My
40?
chosen,
Rapidly approaching 40?
in 30s, in my 30s.
Okay.
Yeah. And I realized late 30s, but I realized that if I'm gonna stay in this space, I need to give it attention that others haven't or can't. And I think that the process of being precise about terms, giving definitions to things, and then taking your observations and turning them into measurements, and from those measurements build models, test them, see what their predictive strength is. I mean, that exact process led to constantly varied high intensity functional movement increases work capacity across broad time and modal domains. And the essence of that, the spirit of that, the manifestation of that is your improved times on, say, standardized workouts, and what that does in application to other efforts. And so for me, when we'd hear from a string quartet or a hockey player or an Olympic rower, you know, bringing their success to our feet, I saw it as a wonderful vindication. I do as well the success of the affiliates. That's the test of that model. What you're doing when you ply the trade, when you put the rower out in the rings and the rope climb and the bumpers and all that, what you're doing is you're exposing people to constantly varied high intensity functional movement, and it increases their work capacity across broad time and modal domains. That's the whole of it.
So, okay. So phase 1 is enjoyment and passion. Phase 2 is innovate. Phase 3 is test your innovations. But it didn't stop there.
No, because the chilly response we got from some in academia, it wasn't everyone. I would even say it was a lot, but it was certainly the recognized and accepted powers. I mean, those fuckers at NSCA are telling everyone that everyone doing CrossFit's getting hurt, while they're having CrossFit competitions inside the gym of their own building.
So would you say phase 4 is fight?
Well, it got
Conquer
that
the
way.
beginning? Yeah.
Look,
So
I mean, they came after us. I was completely content ignoring the NSCA and the ACSM and all that they got wrong and the irrelevance of what they were doing. I used to say of the NSCA manual, the big thing of which Kramer's the editor, I had that thing memorized from cover to cover. There was nothing in there I didn't know. It was referenced as the Bible to my field. But yet I mused that you could memorize every word in this book and have no idea what to do with a client tomorrow.
mm-hmm.
In any way, shape, or form. What exercises, how they're performed. That knowledge doesn't sit with that community. No,
So
it was there for the taking. It was there for the taking.
So stage 4 is your innovation, your baby grew to a point that it started encroaching on what those people perceived as their turf. You were doing seminars in foreign countries, which they only did in the United States. You were doing seminars in more seminars in one weekend than they were doing in the entire year. And because of that, the two empires collided. Your turf started going to their space, and they attacked. And when they attacked, you began fighting back. That was like
They got
war.
cornered. They got cornered in federal court. Called out for tortious competitive business efforts, disseminating lies, did so across state lines. The whole thing just got turned into a big federal action. And their claim was that we were never competitors. And the head of their training and certification testified in deposition that we weren't competitors. And then a judge ordered forensic examination of these scumbag servers, put an email in our hands that came from the guy that testified we weren't competitors, and it was called a competitive analysis of CrossFit. And there it was, from the very guy. The judge referred to him from there on as the perjurer, whatever his last name was. Like, it was amazing. Judge said it was the most egregious thing she'd seen in 35 years or 30 years sitting at the bench. That is their behavior. It was a beautiful thing to see. You know, some asshole just got the William Kramer Lifetime Achievement Award. We were there when Kramer got the Lifetime Achievement Award. And this is a guy that sock puppets fucking reviews in the peer review process, promotes the shit that he's selling, network marketing. It's unbelievable. And we have the emails where he's suborning the falsification and fabrication of data, to which the researcher dutifully gave him what he wanted. Injuries that never occurred.
And he was head of the journal that was publishing that and demanding that. They demanded, when the guy tried to have his paper published.
They asked, he says, "What about injuries?" And he goes, "We didn't have any." And he goes, "We can't publish this. This has got to be contextualized." Like, contextualized? He got it. He came back 2 weeks later. We have the emails. And voila, there were injuries. They took the dropouts and they made them all hurt people. Now, here's where it got weird for them. We had, and imagine the cost of this. We had Latham Watkins attorneys go from Manhattan to fucking Colorado, to Ohio, and they deposed everyone involved, all of the participants in the study. That'd never been done before. And guess what? Guess how many injuries there were?
How many?
None. And the people that dropped out, they dropped out for, you know, all kinds of typical kind of dropout reasons.
So this is the guy who won the William Kramer Award, Rodri Lloyd. So if you were to talk to him, you tell him he probably shouldn't be like celebrating that. That's not like, you don't want to be known as a someone
Harvey Moram, who's now become a friend of mine, but is a world-renowned authority on scientific misconduct, lectures on it, sits on the Committee of Research Ethics core that sets guidelines for what is and isn't misconduct, and very, very active in the space. She says that what the NSCA did is the first demonstrated instance of institutional scientific misconduct. That is, from the top to the bottom, they were in on this. She says every other instance of scientific misconduct, there's a miscreant or two who has fooled the rest. This isn't that. This is a top-down commitment to the scientific misconduct. They did it again in the retraction. They said in the retraction, the reason for it was there hadn't been a what do you call it? I forget. Doesn't matter to me, but they lied about the retraction, and that is, by research ethics, another dose of scientific misconduct. She testified to that in federal court. came forward again on her own by watching the news, had testified for us on our behalf as a expert on publishing ethics, and then came back with a supplemental report of her own on her own volition, because she was watching what was unfolding in the case, and there was more even apparent to her that was going on. The sock puppeting of reviews from Kramer was really a wonderful bit of research she did. But what she did was she looked at these reviewers of reviewing papers, and there was a couple of reviewers used the same corny phrase he did, and regularly, and they also misspelled a word oddly in the same. I mean, it was clearly him. It was a linguistic fingerprint that, look, he's this guy. And so we're like, okay, produce this guy. Such a person couldn't be found. Nobody was confused by anything there. So yeah, I wouldn't put CSCS after my name for anything in the world. No more would I put a fucking swastika on my forehead. What that thing stands for is, it's not as bad as Hitler, We're gonna listen to everyone talk about Trump being like Hitler. That's a stupid comparison, if I might add. But what they represent to research ethics and to good science is motivation for my broken science work. And I enjoy it. I'm not even pissed. I think it's fascinating.
In one of my PT books, it talks about CrossFit and the benefits of it, but it also talks about injuries. The book has the link to the article Greg Glassman has talked about. Since then, it's been removed by the NIH. So that fake study, it was referenced hundreds of times.
It was the most referenced article in the history of peer review in the sports medicine exercise science space. And they blamed that on me. And I understand it's probably true. But
how is that your fault?
Well, it's not my fault, but it is because of me. It's their fault, and it's because of me. And it goes like this: you whisper around and tell everyone that John Doe is a pedophile, and he's not. And you get everyone looking at him funny in church and staying away, and kids don't come around. And he figures out what you've done, and now he puts a billboard up in town that says, "You're a piece of shit, and you called me a fucking pedophile because you're trying to take my business from me as a competitive cement worker," right?
Yeah.
And then now everyone fucking knows, and the news comes around, and you blame the spread of the pedophile rumor on me and the billboard. And I'm like, no, that's part of the remedy, asshole.
Right.
And the judge understood that perfectly. So yeah, the most thing ever read, the most cited article in the history of peer review exercise science. And like the rest of it too, all bullshit. We got to see the process. We get to see how peer review works at the NSCA. I've seen how it works at the ACSM firsthand. I've seen Gatorade's, Pepsi's, Coke's influence on them. It is complete. So what?
In these phases that I have down, kind of holding these place markers, you were really good at enjoying yourself and chasing your passions. You were great at innovating. You were fantastic and fortunate at testing as the affiliates grew. You could argue it's the largest test ever implemented, fucking anywhere. And then
I was told by Harvard it was the fastest growing business in the history of business. And they compared it to Starbucks and I think it was Subway it took Subway 26 years to do what we did in 6 or something.
And then obviously you were great at fighting too. You were world class at fighting. You could see the enemies from far away. You could attack back, and the NSCA is a perfect example of that. You had them fucking on their heels and completely hogtied. Would you say
This is how bad it was? Our world-class attorneys, and I mean that literally, like, you know, all-star, super famous, successful attorneys.
like they represented Dubai and shit, and like people in United Arab Emirates, and
restructured Dubai when they went bankrupt. My personal attorney in that group, I shared attorneys with Larry Ellison. You know, I mean, like I got the world's best attorneys, and they fought so hard for me, and were so good and so smart, and stayed up so many nights so late. We became friends.
And I also want to say this: they all ended up embracing CrossFit, and all ended up doing CrossFit, and their kids ended up doing CrossFit. And I remember that. I remember like, wow, they started bringing their kids around to meet Greg. It was crazy.
My Harvard and Georgetown law attorneys would crush the Stanford attorneys, West Coast attorneys. It's like your little league team going up against the majors.
To emphasize that, the NSCA went through several different lawyers. Their own insurance company, as I recall, abandoned them. They're like, "Oh shit, we're out."
Yeah, the insurers tapped at perjury.
They were like, "You were drunk. We're not defending you. You were drunk at the wheel."
We were given inference sanctions, and I was starting to say, my attorney said they'd never seen anything like this. The only thing that we're left to litigate would be damages. She's handed us our case. It was like, here you let it be known. Everything they said you did. Now let's move forward. Just read it into the record.
There was this one meeting we went to. I can't remember if it was in Los Angeles or where. And
where they were afraid of me.
And their attorneys, they said they were afraid of you, but it was the judge had required all the attorneys to get a mediation, yes. And Greg got up to go to the bathroom, and I went to the bathroom with him, and one of their lawyers followed us into the bathroom, and he just started fawning over you. "Oh my God, I love CrossFit. I do CrossFit. How'd you come up with it? My kids." Do you remember that? That was so crazy. Their own lawyer was like, did everything but ask for an autograph.
I was thinking of a different instance, but yeah, in fact, what he wanted to do, his name was Ken.
There was a mediation too for that one though, too, right?
Yeah, and we saw him later that night at the bar, their attorney. But he wanted me to point out the window and show him where on Water Street we were doing CrossFit when I first came to Santa Cruz. I mean, he was a fanboy.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
So then it goes into this fight phase, and then would you say that there was a phase after that where it went from being for you to serving people? As a young man, you developed it for you, and then it became you turned it into a service-oriented company, right?
I knew something because I rode bikes too much, because I was a very strong gymnast, and how I got there. I knew something about fitness that others didn't know or appreciate. And so I took that to market advantage. Now, the fruit of that is, reversing and preventing chronic disease. Younger, you don't appreciate that quite as much. The older you get, the more meaning that has to you.
But by the end, you were doing it completely. In the beginning, you were doing it completely for yourself, and by the end, you were doing it completely for other people. You
Yeah,
were
that sounds
right.
that sounds right. Yeah,
And so
I just lost my screen.
there's something there. Maybe try hitting the escape button. That's what I do. Or go down to the bottom and hit Chrome again. I lose my screen sometimes too, and I just hit Chrome and it pops
There
back
it
up.
is.
It seems like there was a real natural, healthy, like evolution that runs parallel to just how a healthy man should grow anyway, is what I was thinking this morning in the shower.
Do you remember the origins of the soda tour?
Probably. Refresh me.
Well, the
What
our
year was that? Was that
Podesta,
2015? 2000?
I don't know.
Okay.
You were there. Podesta, our lobbyist there, picked up some permanent friends out of that interaction. But they were able to demonstrate for us. They found that there were 26 instances of legislation being brewed at the state level, and in both houses, the Senate and the lower House of Representatives, whatever for each state. And this had been going on over and over again. I think it was 13 states, 26 instances, getting closer and closer to. It was occupational licensure. It was to limit, and we didn't realize any of this was going on until it passed in D.C. And so it's occupational licensure, and the rules basically criminalized CrossFit training. We had a certification that was ANSI accredited, but the law was requiring a certification that was whatever the other accredited, the cheese dick certification people, the one that your NSCA certification is accredited by. Okay. And we got the better one. We got the ANSI accreditation, the more serious accreditation for our certification. It's a more serious certification too, as well, by the way. But these efforts had similar language, in some places identical language, and each time the carve out left us holding the bag. And so it was obvious that this came from competitors in the space. And it didn't take too long to figure out who that was and who funds this shit. And this was soda money. This was soda money working in conjunction with the NSCA and the ACSM to do CrossFit harm. And it was a long, drawn out campaign. And we got wind of it. And so I was out there talking about soda pop, and I go, "This shit kill you," but I'm going to be frank. That's not why I'm here. I said, we're not on the methamphetamine tour, and we're not going to do a fentanyl tour. Those things are deadly and plaguing the country. But we are doing a soda tour, and the problem is this: is that the shit kills is one reason, but they've come after us is a more important reason for me, and their corruption of the health space through their bullshit research and the researchers they've paid, like hydration case with Pepsi and Gatorade. Oh, so in fact, in terms of the irritation to me, it's the coming after us, trying to criminalize what we're doing with a big dollar effort in 13 different states, where you finally fucking succeeded, you dickheads in DC. By the way, we got that reversed. Made the Wall Street Journal page 2. It was the first time, only, I think it was 6 or 7 times in 42 years had occupational licensure been repealed. That's usually a one-way street. But the real irritant to me was that effort. And so I went after their sponsors.
They were meddling in the
what?
sports sciences, and you were like, "Hey, you got to get out."
Yeah.
Soda was.
Dude, I couldn't. I mean, the whole exercise is medicine is Coca-Cola.
Is that the Obama? Is that the Michelle Obama thing? Exercise and medicine.
Baked in. It's baked into the Affordable Care Act.
pivoting a little bit, just kind of swinging around, looking at it from a different lens. And do you think that this fight was important for your affiliates and your community, and that I know you didn't do it for those reasons, but that it was important for them to see you fighting something, and for them to know of a common enemy as something that sort of brought us together as sort of like an ancillary benefit? You were like, hey, fuck you guys, and people were like, oh, that's kind of cool. Do you think that galvanized the base? Or like, I know when you did it, you didn't think of the implications of what people would think about you. I know you were doing it just because it was,
Yeah.
you knew it was right and they were a threat.
Well,
But do you think it's important to
look,
have an
I got,
enemy now in hindsight?
yeah, maybe. Maybe. I mean, it's important to have values, and I think it was fortunate for the community that we stayed in the lane we stayed in.
Because I hear that now. um, I hear that now. We know what Greg was doing, and he was fighting for us, and he gave us, and we had a common enemy, and it was a thread. You know, obviously there were other threads too. There were threads in the movement patterns and in the nutrition, and there were things like that. But it added another thread to weave the community tighter together, like, at the level of the affiliate owners. Um, that was extremely valuable to know that, okay, that's our enemy. There's our leader. He spotted our enemy.
Yeah, maybe.
And I think it probably inspired them on whatever level they were working at, and gave them the balls to stand up for what they stood for. It gave them a backbone instead of just to go with every fad, every turn, at every new machine. And somewhere in there is when it rolled off of your lips, "We have a cure for the world's most vexing problem." And I remember you telling me, and feel free to unfuck me if I'm not getting this right, but you were like, "Hey, we have 100,000 trainers out there, and I'm not sure if all of them or any of them know that they have the cure for the world's most vexing problem. That this isn't just like, hey, this is just the best way to get your best GPP and for your DNA to represent itself." You're like, we need to let them know that that's what they have. Not as some sort of marketing ploy, but just as like, as you were able to articulate, you're like, hey, this message has to come out. This has to be like, they have to know that L1 gives them the power to cure the world's most vexing problem. And then we had that affiliate in Arizona put up on the huge sign, "We cure type 2 diabetes."
Yeah.
And what's
Went out
interesting
and
is
saw 'em.
that guy was going to de-affiliate Greg just like the month before. And then I remember him saying, "Holy shit," like when you let him know what he had, he was like, oh, like he almost put it down and walked away from it. He'd had done his 10 years. You know what I mean? And so that's a phase too. It wasn't like you innovated at that point. It's just I guess that's the education part. You educated.
There's a very conventional view of business that, well, hell, it was Harvard Business School, the students there, that each year we'd go, there was the invite centered around some litigation that we won. And I don't want to make that a topic here because we could spend weeks on it, but it was about that litigation. And the students were asked, when they saw our business model, if I knew what I was doing or not. And there was a pretty strong vote prior to my visit that I didn't know quite what I was doing. And on leaving, they'd vote again, and it would be like 90% that, yeah, guy knows exactly what he's doing. And there were many of the students in real time that would catch on to the whole thing, hand on the forehead, could raise their hand then and make a contribution to what it is that I was telling them.
Mm-hmm.
Light would come on in a big way. And I saw Sousa was running some clips of that. And I don't know if that was at Harvard or where that was, but it's to me talking about leased rents,
Right.
about a movement where you have control of the thing, and it'd be the brand and the website and whatever else. But just being first there with it. But we had a rapidly expanding CrossFit universe ecosystem, Mulvaney called it, financial ecosystem, where we had rapidly expanding revenues, but a shrinking chunk of the pie. So our section, our portion was getting narrower, but the pie was growing so fast that that narrower chunk was more and more money. And that's not usually how people want to do business. And in fact, the argument would be made very quickly with investors that you're in violation of your fiduciary obligation by not trying to grow the wedge rather than allowing it to shrink. And this, in the business parlance, was leaving money on the table is the language.
Mm-hmm.
So by not getting into the fish oil shit and jump ropes and dumbbells, I was and t-shirts, I was leaving money on the table. And you could get 450 Harvard business students to think that's what I'm doing. I'm fucking up. I'm leaving money on the table. On leaving, about 90% of them would have a different view of things. Yeah, I was proud of that. I mean, that was fun.
I'm gonna play this clip real quick, and then I want to ask you about a follow-up question to it. Okay, here we go. This is from Matt Souza's Instagram account. Here we go.
Call this the leased rents model. I am not interested in the activity that sits out here. It doesn't belong to us. It belongs to other people. Our job is to force these boundaries out to make the circle bigger for everyone while our section narrows. And we have to do that. We have legal authority, we own the name, but we have moral authority in that we speak for the affiliates and we will defend them to the end of the world. The private equity and the venture capital that have approached us, and we deal all day long currently with private equity and venture capital. What they want to see me do is this. They want us to take a bigger chunk. And we know that that would shrink the circle. Might make me wealthy. I had someone from private equity sit down with me and tell me, you should be a billionaire. I said, why is that? He says, it's all the money you're leaving on the table. I said, the money we're leaving on the table is an opportunity for other people. Let me give you one for instance. There's an outfit called Rogue. They're in Columbus, Ohio. They make equipment for CrossFitters. They'll probably do $60 million this year. Now, I could help myself to some of that by requiring the affiliates use CrossFit branded gear. And then Rogue would have a real problem. I don't want to own Rogue. I don't want to step outside of our core competency. I don't want to lose the moral authority. I'm not trying to make money. I'm trying to grow a community. I'm trying to.
I want to go to that part where you say, take a bigger piece of the pie. Is raising affiliate fees taking a bigger piece of that pie?
Yes.
And then Souza went on.
The irresistible areas will be franchising, bullshit in a can to drink, equipment from jump ropes to pull-up bars, everything Bill does. It's irresistible.
Because of the just the ability to just start printing money from it.
Yeah. The NBA's in a hurry for you to get your shit in Costco. For connoisseurs of brands, you know that's wow. Oh look, Tommy Bahamas at fucking Costco. Uh-oh.
Meaning that means you're circling the bowl.
It kind of seems like it for me. Do you buy your clothes there?
No,
Do you know anyone that does? People
my
must. I mean, I think I
my
have.
dad, my
Yeah.
dad probably gets his underwear and socks and shit from there. Probably his shoes.
I like he probably was a J.C. Penney fan, right?
Oh, huge Sears, J.C. Penney's. Yes,
Yeah, my dad too.
my dad's shoes are look. He wears like these
Now
Asics that look
nowadays,
like he's going on the moon.
yeah, nowadays dads that haven't seen their kids in 2 years, any of them, any of their kids, and haven't had a job ever as an adult, wear $200 pair of tennis shoes.
Right.
Yeah, my dad was buying the multi-packs of underwear at Sears with a good job,
Yeah.
saving for retirement, you know?
Right.
Nobody does that anymore. No one's saving for retirement, I understand. We're being overcome by a massive wave of stupidity. It's like a stupidity tsunami. Do you feel it? Don't you see it?
Dude, when you showed me that movie about 10 or 15 years ago, Idiocracy,
Yeah.
I remember thinking, how can Greg like this? This is so depressing. This is so depressing. It was like the comedic version of Requiem for a Dream. It was so depressing.
I enjoyed that too.
Andrew Hiller, I just bought a 15-pound ribeye from Costco. I know. I need to get a Costco membership.
I could have attached that purchase to that name. If you said of all our friends.
So then here's the real concern. That,
And by the way, that Rogue 60 million, I mean, they're doing 300, 400 million.
Now, yeah, right. That's old.
They were more a baby then. That's 10 years ago.
So here's the part that gets really squirrely. If
Bill should buy CrossFit and require that the affiliates use Rogue gear before it's done to him.
Oh, interesting.
If we had better relations with China right now, someone would be up his ass.
What do you mean?
Why we're closing steel mills down here in this country, I think, right?
Yeah.
Isn't the industry hurting?
Yeah.
We
need to increase tariffs on everyone.
Isn't it China that's erecting high rises everywhere in the world?
Yeah. A lot of the world is. A lot of the world is in just a massive building phase.
You and I travel around, we see fucking Chinese steel going up and fucking all over the world, every continent.
Yeah, a friend of mine who was just in Armenia told me that you can't believe how fast the buildings are going up, and only 1 in 5 condos is populated. It reminds me of Vancouver when China did that to Vancouver, and when cocaine money did that to Miami. If you would remember, we would go to Miami and the skyscrapers would be empty.
Remember our realtor friend in Santa Barbara?
Yeah. Yep. CrossFitter.
Yeah. She grew up in Colombia. And is Colombian, has no accent. It's freckled beauty.
Yeah, she's hot.
And yeah. And she said that when Escobar was killed, some of her uncles who were physicians went out of business. And they went out of business because he and his enterprises were so critical to the local economy that there were good people that didn't have jobs in factories, you know?
Right.
I mean, it created a horrible economic downturn. And people were, trying to pay for their medical bills with chickens and shit.
There were some. I mean, if you're making billions and billions worth of dollars in a country, then there's going to become a whole ecosystem around you. It's not like those. No matter how good or how bad a person is, you're funding a ton of shit.
Right.
Soccer fields, like that's another thing I heard. I heard every village had just the most beautiful fucking places for the kids to play soccer in schools, and he was just funding all sorts of shit like that.
Yeah, and your point that you made is worth making again, is that it
I don't know if
has
you've ever
dirty
said that.
origins.
I don't know if you've ever said that, by the way. Savor that for a second.
It has dirty origins, maybe, but it gets filtered into a very real economy.
Right. Right. The one of the things that then Sousa then proposed is that this extra money that they were extracting from inside the pie would be used to make resources more available for people who aren't in affiliates to directly purchase from CrossFit Inc. So that instead of like currently the model with CrossFit, right, is to go from CrossFit to the affiliates, support the affiliates, and then the affiliates are able to maintain their businesses, right? So the people come in there and then the affiliates make money. And so if you're an affiliate and you're paying money to CrossFit, on some level, at bare minimum, you don't want them driving people away from your affiliate. In the best circumstance, you would want them doing things supporting people coming to your affiliate. Sousa was proposing the idea that if CrossFit takes this extra money and then uses it to build a relationship with consumers directly, then the affiliates would be directly funding their own demise. That the extra money being taken from HQ, if they were to build a direct-to-consumer product, that then it would be taking from the pile of cash that people would want to spend at the affiliates.
What's the direct-to-consumer product look like?
An app where you pay $20, like basically what Street Parking is doing, or that Sweat with Kylie, or that stupid thing Sherwood does, whatever. Those things where basically you're selling garage gyms, I guess. Like to build a what's it called, a vertical. Is that what they like to say in the business world? A vertical that competes directly with the affiliates. Now, the argument could be that maybe it doesn't direct. That's a whole different consumer market. But if that's true, that's that's some diabolical shit. But you also can't hold it against them, because their whole goal is once again is just to make money. I mean, Don's very honest about it.
Listen, yeah, you're circling back around to the real world here. Matt has this idea of what would be best for affiliates. Whoever's driving the company speaks but one language. And what happens when you increase the affiliate fees is the company looks less like a dog immediately, regardless of where this is headed. Remember, NBA think it's Q2, Q3, Q4 next year, Q1, 2, 3. What? I'm losing interest. This is like you're talking light years away.
Chris Biesterfield calls it they're only interested in valuation.
Hell yeah.
And you could argue, let me play devil's advocate, and you could. So
I should have taken more money out of the company and lined my pockets with it, and I could have gotten way more for it.
Right.
Way more for it.
Right.
Yeah, I'd be a billionaire if I had taken out 50 million in the last 10 years.
So you were more of a conqueror than a businessman.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it was obvious to everyone who was around you too. All your staff knew that you were I mean, do you remember that? It's funny. I never thought of this. Do you remember that statue that you had in the entryway of Del Mar? The native African man that was completely covered in beads
with
the spear. Yeah. And then and then in your Prescott house, you had African warriors too, now that I think about it. That huge bust of, do you remember that? What happened to that woman?
I have here a Shambach and a Maasai spear. Waddell brought me that back.
Yeah, you know, now that I think about it, you had a lot of African warrior art, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Hey, what happened to that giant man in Del Mar? I know this is total off subject, but what happened to him?
I have art in storage.
Yeah.
And it's in a place that stores art in San Diego. I keep threatening to bring it out.
How much did that thing weigh? The giant man covered in eggs, in
500-600 pounds.
Seashells. Dude, you needs to be in that would be amazing in Idaho. I know it doesn't fit the motif, but fuck,
That's
that guy.
funny.
That guy was amazing. So you were interested in dissemination and conquering of the health, medical, fitness, whatever, all that shit. You were in full, like, I'm taking over the world. I remember you saying, I remember the first time you said this, I thought it was so fucking crazy. I'm like, wow, he's fucking nuts. You were saying we need to take the mantle from the CDC.
That's right. That's right.
And
I said they've abandoned it.
And it's like Elon saying he wants to go to Mars, and you were dreaming really big. Now in hindsight, I see it wasn't crazy at all.
If my broken science friends and I can make a difference in even a small number of people, the way they view science, in fact, it's really the campaign against science illiteracy is a continuation of what we've been doing all along. What was wrong in fitness is wrong in medicine. It's wrong in public health. It's wrong in the climate bullshit, religion. And there's a huge opportunity here. And what do we mean by, like, some way to make it rain money? No, I'm not talking about financial opportunity. It's just where there's ignorance, it's fun to shine light. I enjoy it.
I know you should do. Chris,
you know, when I like,
go ahead.
Anyone just go to the Wikipedia article on the confusion of the inverse. I think it is the article. And again, my Wikipedia, my favorite source to hate. So much so, I love it. Is that pulling up?
Yeah. Is it called inverse function rule or confusion of the inverse? I see it.
Yeah. In there, you learn that you're given some real simple data, and some guy actually sent that out to 100 physicians, and what these physicians concluded was that, and from this data, and I don't want to bore anyone with this, but
no, this is great. You gave me this talk in Idaho. This was amazing. This blew my mind. This is great shit.
Yeah, the 95 out of 100 physicians responded that the probability of malignancy would be about 75%. And that's because the physicians believe that the chances of malignancy given a positive test result were approximately the same as the chances of a positive test result given malignancy. In other words, the probability of A given B may have no relationship to the probability of B given A. And this is something that I can teach children. In fact, I'm teaching my children. And everyone's education on it can come with some understanding of what a conditional probability is. And to use the Kolmogorov definition of a conditional probability to start drawing out some Venn diagrams. And it's exceedingly simple. But when I saw that 95 out of 100 physicians gave the answer to 75% instead of the proper answer, which is true answer, and that is the probability of it being malignant, given that you've tested positive, is 7.5%. And this confusion of the inverse is also part of what's wrong with p-values. That the sleight of hand is to pretend that the probability of the data given a hypothesis somehow relates to the probability of your hypothesis given the data. And in fact, the frequentists that have delivered the inferential scheme that's supported the science they won't replicate, the bullshit fake science that the university's practicing, they even deny that the probability of a hypothesis has meaning. They say that only data can have a probability, that a proposition only has values true or false. And that deductivist desire that the allure of certainty took them down that deductivist path, and it's why we have the bullshit science we have. Fascinating about the bullshit science is it's epistemically debased by some weak thinking that you could fix in children, like this very thing here, show the top of the page. And imagine your doctor tell you, yeah, it's a 75% chance it's a brain tumor. Sorry, when in fact it's 7.5%. But this is something that can easily be taught to school children. And we'd have a whole different, I don't know, how many children can we teach it to?
Greg, I think the quick example you gave me, one of many, we talked about this for a couple hours in your schoolroom in Idaho, and you gave me tons of great examples. But I think one that you said was, we're going to get married and it happens to be raining. It's raining. And then you said, and then people can't confuse that as just because it's raining, we're going to get married. It's along those lines, correct?
Yeah. I like the
go ahead. You didn't like that one?
The probability of having nightmares is super high for molested children. Okay. But having nightmares doesn't suggest molestation, because the incidence in people that haven't been molested of having nightmares is very high.
Right.
And so you're on illogical grounds if you draw conclusions about the probability of your being sick because your test came back positive. The odds of the sensitivity associated with your test, the 95% is of people shown by some gold standard to have the condition, 95% of them test positive. So having tested positive, what is the probability you have the condition? It may be low. And this example given here, now we're beating a dead horse, but you see right with your very eyes here how you can confuse the probability of A given B and B given A in something that stumped 95 out of 100 doctors.
Because of bad thinking.
95 out of 100. Yeah, it's a logical fallacy.
Greg, I think it was Spencer last year or last show.
All of that, Spencer. It's a statistics problem. It's a problem in inference, of which the Bayesians have a proper perspective, and it's a problem in science. We might have to define what science is, but it plagues academic science. And I'm not talking about in your chemistry class, your physics class. What I'm talking about is primary research. And sadly, and none of it would matter, who gives a fuck what's being published in psychology or sociology or gender studies. But the problem is that medicine has adopted the methodology of gender studies and sociology and psychology, and it produces bullshit science.
Spencer was the one at the end of last week who asked Greg, is it that you have is it that you don't like science at all, or that you think that something's wrong with science?
I love science when you have a weakly stated or not stated at all, or even if it's strongly stated hypothesis, and you commit to some intervention and you check that data on the assumption that there was null difference in the intervention, your null hypotheses, and the data of that becomes improbable based on say less than the magic 5%, based on a test statistic of your selection, ad hoc selection, and tied to a distribution that is also an assumption of your own making, and you get different answers depending which way you want to go. You get a fucking p-value. Now, on the probability of your data, you can reject the null, and therefore your hypothesis stated or not is true. What I'm going to tell you is that's not doing science. It looks like it. Fools think it is, but it isn't. For science, Spencer, what we need to do, you don't prove anything right or wrong in science. Science doesn't do proof. That's the exclusive province of the law, where they stumble with it constantly. What does it mean? Prove beyond reasonable doubt. Like, prove, what do you mean by prove? It's Dale Sarin is brilliant on this, by the way. But and math does proof. Science doesn't do proof, and this is part of this deductivist problem too. Scientific models, a hypothesis becomes a theory by the predictive strength. That's how. That's how science works. We take observations, tie them to a standard scale. Observations are registration of the real world on our senses or sensing equipment, and if you can tie that to a standard scale with a well-characterized area, you have a measurement. And if I can tie a measurement or a set of conditions to a future unrealized measurement, I have a forecast of a measurement, and the predictive strength of that thing determines whether this is it gives me the quality of the theory. And it's bounded by 0 and 1. So it's not things don't get proven in science. You can support models or not. And that is source and repository of man's objective knowledge. I don't think you could believe in science, trust science, love science more than I do. And I'm using the vernacular there in science, but I'm not talking about the work product that uses p-values in that inference to draw conclusions. No one should. You can't. You can't. Now, what this epistemic debasement, that's what it is. It's the code's been altered. And what that debasement has done is it's brought the thieves in, the bad guys. Once you figure out how they're doing this, wait a minute, all I need is an experiment, some data, right p-value, and we're good. Coke's good for you? You're fucking kidding me. And they do, they have, they will, they are. It's easy to jigger. If I increase my sample space, my p-value drops, mathematically guaranteed to. The thing's been figured out. The game's been figured out. AI could do the science that's done at the university. AI is doing the science that is done at the university. And it was designed so you could turn a crank and spit out research. It turns out that any such system is gonna produce bullshit. It's a plague of over certainty. And you can make your departure point. Start with Ionati's why most research findings are false.
I love it when God, Jake Chapman's so good. Look at statistically, 100% of the people who died from nuclear bombs are Japanese. I like the all crows. When you explained to me the all crows are black one, that one was good too.
Popper said that was the form of a scientific assertion, this universal generalization. And my father's response was he thought it more likely that no scientific assertion ever took that form. And then he says, maybe I'll correct myself and just say, I've never met a scientist so stupid as to think that that's what a scientific assertion looks like. But what he wanted to do was put it on a deductivist footing. Popper was going to modus tollens his way to truth. And he set up and the university bought into that shit.
What's modus tollens mean?
It's the if P then Q, not Q, therefore not P.
John Ioannidis posited assumptions about the way people perform and report these tests. Then he constructed a statistical model which indicates that most published findings are likely false positive results. And Ioannidis is the most cited living scientist alive today who won't speak anywhere that's
and he's the ninth most cited scientist ever, but the most cited physician in peer-reviewed literature of all.
And doesn't he have some pretty stand on some pretty high moral high ground? Like he won't speak for money. You can't purchase him to come speak.
Yeah, he's in an odd position. He spoke honestly and early about AIDS, about COVID,
Mm-hmm.
and it hurt.
He did some studies, right?
A lot here. It's really very, very simple. This is the thing. You don't have to study much conditional probability to understand clearly. Just it's some very simple logic, and then kind of watch the magic as I roll up my sleeves with the chalkboard and do some algebra on some obvious logic. And it's just beautiful what you can come up with. It's pretty cool.
Caller, hi. Hey.
Hello?
Hey, hi. You're live.
Is
Go
this
ahead.
Sevan?
Yes, it is.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Let's go.
Yeah, so I have a question for Greg.
Okay, he's here too.
This is Spencer.
Oh, Spencer, hi.
Spencer.
Hi. So like I understand that the problems that you have with like the like whole science machine, like the whole bureaucratic process and the tenure and the fact that like, you know, the PIs want to just get their own research funded, so they push their agenda on the lab assistants or whatever it is. Like I'm very familiar with that, but when looking at the scientific process, you're like, you know, you make your hypothesis, and then your job is to effectively disprove your own hypothesis, to kind of like come up with a framework or a model that can predict whatever.
I don't think that's how science goes. I'm gonna say it again. When you think of proving or disproving or proving, you're outside of the space of science. Right. SpaceX, so, they're not trying to prove anything. There's no proof in science.
Should be like just observations, and it's just observation only.
No. It starts with observations. It's empirical, and it's from these observations that we form data. But the observation, which is just a registration of the real world on our senses or sensing equipment, we then endeavor to turn that into a measurement. Okay, and a measurement is an observation tied to a standard scale with a well-characterized error, a foot plus or minus 3 inches, that kind of thing. And
so, what would your
tie? Then, I'm going to finish because I don't want to have to do the proof thing again, because I'm going to tell you the whole process here. We're almost through it, and we're not doing any proving. Okay. And what we do then is we take that observation and tie it to a future observation. And I'm sorry, a measurement, and tie it to a future measurement is a forecast of a measurement. And the predictive strength of that forecast, of that prediction, determines whether my model gets to go from hypothesis to theory.
Right.
And the quality of the predictive strength is the quality of the theory. And we do not arrive at truth nor proof. So someone said swamps cause malaria, and you drain the swamp and it made a big difference. That works for now. Then someone's like, it's the fucking mosquitoes. So you go to war on the mosquitoes, and part of that's draining swamps, and you get an even better result against malaria. Then someone says, you know what, the fucking mosquito, it's been infected with something, with a plasmodium. And I've been saying for years, someone's going to do this. They're going to vaccinate the fucking mosquitoes for the plasmodium. In fact, that's been done. And none of these theories, nothing was proven. Nothing was, there wasn't true or false.
Right. When you move from having your observations and then the data, and then trying to extrapolate that to the next data point or observation, and you're looking for a pattern, how do you do that without I'd imagine you need a mathematical model to help you with that. So do you think statistics is still necessary, but it's just being manipulated by
absolutely
the people? Okay.
I test my hunches with statistics. That's what Laplace did. He could make Newton's theories work, but only to a certain extent. And Newton thought that God would come along every so often and reset the universe, and so that his theories work, but where they're off by some percent, this is God's it's like a watch that winds down. He really believed that. And Laplace came around and says, I'm not seeing the God thing so much. What if the Earth were oblong? And then he on the assumption of a 1% or whatever the hell it was, eccentricity, then oblongness to the Earth, he rechecked the calculations, and they matched what he was seeing in the telescopes. And then the next thing he did was try to look for other evidence of that oblong nature and found it.
Right.
And now we know he fixed it. He fixed the problem. He did very similar things with tides too. He said he used probability theory to cure defects in his knowledge. And what he's doing is he's using probability theory to test hunches that he would then substantiate by other means. And for those achievements, the breadth of his discovery and the articulation of philosophically of what he was doing and how he did it is probably the single greatest contribution to science, I would think.
Sure.
I hold him on a par with Einstein and Newton for sure, at least.
So my next question then, and I might need to get off of the call after this, unfortunately, because I have to go coach some people, but I'll come back and watch your response. If good science requires some sort of mathematical framework and statistical analysis, and that statistical analysis and mathematics is also the thing that's being used to bastardize science, what would your solution be? Because it's it's like you need the evil thing to do the thing well. So what's the solution? What do you think the solution is, and how do you is there a system of checks and balances that have to be in place? Because people read in academia, people do go back and reference and scrutinize other people's papers, and I know that's kind of because they all know each other, and it's all this whole thing. It's So I understand that there's issues with that, but I guess to summarize, why, like, if you need statistics and you need a mathematical framework to do good science, but that's also what's being used to manipulate science, then what is the solution?
I'm telling you what it is. We need to do things like realize that it's not about proof, that it's not about true or false. In fact, Ionati's paper, "Why Most Research Findings Are False," it should have been "Why Most Research Findings Are Improbable," but that's splitting hairs, and entertainingly so too.
Sure.
No, the problem is a philosophical problem that has people thinking things about science that aren't true, that are incorrect. Okay,
Got it.
and p-values
Cool.
are a big part of it. They are clearly another facet of this confusion of the inverse. In fact, I think that Wikipedia article treads there. Does it, Sevi?
The confusion of inverse, or the Ionatis one?
The confusion of the inverse one, Ionatis does for sure. His punchline is that low-powered studies produce high false positives, which again is something that I could teach children. No, it's there's a
Spencer, thank you, by the way. If you have to go, I understand.
Yeah, I gotta go, but thanks, guys. Savvy, love the content. I'll see you guys later.
Okay, thank you, dude.
Thanks, Spencer. Yeah, I spoke at Hillsdale, and the students there, I think, were overwhelmingly convinced that I don't like science.
Hey, it's the Floyd 19 phenomenon too. It's like saying not mourning George Floyd like somehow is like some attack on melanated people, when now all the data has come out, and it's more than proven now. It was skyrocketed. Crime skyrocketed, and deaths of melanated people have skyrocketed because of the George Floyd incident. So here you are trying to you're trying to defend them and protect them and get it back on the right path, and instead you're accused of harming them.
You can't do science until you understand what a conditional probability is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a simple and beautiful little thing that you can show to children on the blackboard. And the probability of A given B can be shown as the area of the intersection of A and B divided by the area of B, the part given. And you can show that going the other way doesn't work. The Wikipedia is good enough on this too. Right there. And go down. Right there. See that? The probability of A given B is equal to and you can draw that out and show two circles, a circle A and a circle B, that intersect. And the probability of A given B is the area that's the intersection of A and B divided by the area that's B. And that, in fact, is the definition of conditional probability for Kolmogorov, who probably contributed more to probability theory than anybody, as much as anyone. But you can draw these things out. It looks like a lot here, but it's really not. And if we could just get people to not think that the probability, that the 95% probability of your test, on the assumption that you have it, is not the same thing as the probability of having it given the way you tested.
We need to start making
it's
those
counterintuitive,
videos.
Maybe it's counterintuitive, but it is an intellectual error, a very, very simple one with horrific consequences, sequela, downstream from that bad assumption. What do you think? I mean, Emily has sat with physicians and had this argument about the mammograms. She actually tests them.
Oh, she does?
Oh yeah. What does the 95% mean? Well, it means it's just a 95. Fuck no, dude. It's like more like 7%.
Someone in here wanted to know what you thought about the Hawk Tui girl.
She's great. Dude, if you don't, I don't. She might be crazy, but there's no doubt about her funness.
No, I want to say she's not crazy.
I
Greg,
don't know that they're amenable to the scientific method.
let me read the question, but first, Greg, can you explain how you study something like sociology or psychology with sound science? Hi, Caleb. Go ahead, Greg.
I know some people. I'd love to know what Douglas Murray thinks of that very question. But he and I would probably share the view that more insight to human behavior has been given to us by Shakespeare than all of the works in psychology combined.
God, Douglas Murray's great, man. If you just want to have fun on YouTube, or reading or listening to books, listen or watch or anything he does. He is so awesome.
I'm a huge fan.
How has he never come to your house, Greg? Do you know him?
I don't know, but no, I wish I did.
Hey, here's
great.
the thing, Dominic. We got to get Greg on a whiteboard to show us these things on the show. I know. And Greg actually told me the other day, hey man, we need to start making like 10-minute videos and I can just go through. And I'm going to tell you, like, this shit does not stick with me, but I've been at Greg's house and he's explained things in like 5 or 10-minute segments at a time for weeks at a time when I like hung out in Idaho, and he can do it all like in 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here. And he teaches it to me like I'm a fucking 10-year-old and I get it. I'm like, oh shit.
I've coupled this with my homeschooling, right?
Yeah.
The Kolmogorov interpretation of a conditional probability is just something that my kids are going to understand in their gut. But that going, oh man, yeah, that's a good start.
Watching Doug Murray take out Malcolm Gladwell was like porn.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that. Do you know what he's talking about?
Yeah. That's a
poor Malcolm.
It's great.
Hey, so are we having a viewing party at your house fight night tomorrow night?
Yeah. Hey, did you see the Babylon Bee thing that Trump was practicing for the debate? He's prepping for the debate by going into nursing homes and arguing with demented people.
I did see that. That was amazing.
How else are you going to get ready for it? Oh, here we go. Here it is. It's like a whole article about it. Damn.
How you doing, Caleb?
Good. It's hot down here, but it's nice. My joints feel good.
That's because of climate change.
Oh, that's right. Forgot about that. I think I'm feeling it every day, you know?
Shit. I just realized I was going to try to take Avi to skate camp so we could see Rhett today. And then I'm speaking to your wife now, and she says that Rhett's going to surf camp to see Avi. Fuck.
Yeah. You and Maggie working together closely.
Oh, man.
George, you're wrong about lime jello. Nobody likes it, Trump said as he argued with a 94-year-old dementia patient who claims to be constantly observed by Russian spies.
Hey, this is a tough question, but you think they're giving they're going to give Biden like Adderall or something? You think they actually inject him with something, Greg?
Yeah,
You do?
yeah.
Like
They have to, right?
like they give him a bag of something stronger than a bag of vitamins than like that shit like people do in LA, or you think they give him more than like some B12 and vitamin C in a saline bag?
Yeah, I would imagine that they're giving him amphetamine.
Yeah,
That's
right.
what I'd give him.
And
There's no way he stays
If I
lucid.
were responsible with winding him up and sending him out there.
Yeah.
We should do some kind of game. Like count the number of times Trump says crooked and Biden says felon or something.
Every time Biden stumbles over his words, take a shot. Every time Trump says China, take a shot.
Man, I really fucked this up.
What?
I just know Avi is going to have. I told Avi he could go to skate today to hang with Rhett, and now Rhett's going.
We'll get Maggie to change the plan.
No, I'm getting Haley to change it. I think it's easier to get my wife to change it than your wife.
My kid doesn't want to go to surf camp bad.
Yeah, but if him and Avi are there, they can just fuck around and like paddle around and like get strong and run and you know what I mean. And then afterwards, like we can take them out to hamburgers or some shit. All right. What are you doing now? Do you want to hang out? I don't think I have much to do.
Yeah, I want to get on the boat.
Okay. Is it it's not sunny at
If
my
it
house
clears.
yet. Okay.
No, it's not either.
But it's gonna get sunny. Hamburgers are the devil's meat.
You know, Sebi, why don't I produce, you help me, some short explanations coming off the chalkboard for things, and we could just hit them up once a week, just quick things that gives other people things to look at. And I could use a universal reference. And I love it. You know, you can handpick your sources, and the one I've handpicked is one I don't like, but it suits my purposes. And that's Wikipedia.
Okay.
But the misthinking that afflicts science that won't reproduce are logical misconceptions that are nearly universal, like the 95 out of 100 physicians that did their arithmetic wrong on that test versus reality. These are intellectual defects that can be fixed in grade school, which I think is really exciting. There's
Spencer,
a lot of things like that.
Spencer, this was the gentleman who was on the phone. Greg, I'm sorry for interrupting mid-sentence. I think my audio is delayed. I was in my car. I'm sorry.
We're all good, Spencer. I appreciate, because I know you're not the only person that's thought I might be anti-science. No, it's, you know, look at the replication crisis. Do a little research on that, and that's my problem. Science that won't replicate can't be trusted, and I'm no fan of it. And it won't replicate for methodological reasons, and they have to do with not following the scientific method.
That's how delicate communication is in these days. You could be defending something and someone think that you are attacking it.
It's all in the tone.
Yeah, like I find myself defending Hunter Biden, which is really an odd thing. I'm not. We were handed Hunter in lieu of his dad.
Right. Oh
evidence
shit! Wow.
Yeah. And
wow.
Take the son. Okay, don't worry, son. I'll commute your sentence. Thanks, Dad.
Wow.
Because the evidence, the veracity of the laptop wasn't disputed to keep Hunter out of hot water. The problem is that the laptop demonstrates that Dad's a crook.
Holy shit.
Handsomely demonstrate that Dad's a crook. dovetails with Secret Service records spectacularly well as to where Dad was and who he hung with. And the reason he's telling us he had nothing to do with his son's business, because his son's business was making the dad wealthy through their fucking little influence peddling scam. That's the family business. And the laptop makes that abundantly clear. The problem is that they got half of the world, they're laptop deniers. It's hilarious. My friend Tom's one. He's a laptop denier. He still thinks it's Russian bullshit.
Yep.
There's
right.
a low probability of that.
It's obviously not.
Very low probability.
Obviously not.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna go deal with seeing if I can get this kid to skate camp, and then I'm gonna call you and pass it off to the wife and try to find you. Have you eaten yet?
No.
Okay, me neither. All right, thanks, dude.
Thanks, Caleb.
Great show.
See you later, Greg.
How's school, bud?
It's good. We're just kind of waiting around right now, but it's nice to just hang around and go to the beach. And
hey, are any of the structures all blown up, guys? Like missing an eye, no fingers, any of this?
Not that I've seen yet. I'm sure there are a couple, but there's some guys. There are a couple of guys with like Purple Hearts on their cars and shit. So somebody's been blown up. I just got to find them.
Is this true? Biden refinanced his home 37 times.
Yikes.
Hey, do you know what? Someone came on the show the other day and was basically saying Trudeau is a groomer. I hadn't heard. I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but they were saying that he groomed his wife. Did you know that he divorced his wife recently when he was in office? I didn't know that either.
What is he grooming her for?
Diddling that she was too young.
Gotcha.
Joe Biden and Jill Biden refinanced their Delaware home 20 times.
Oh my God.
They used their home like an ATM, taking out multiple mortgages and refinancing their Delaware properties.
Hey.
I hope Trump brings that up. Hey, you don't pay taxes either. Me neither. That's cool. We have more in common than you thought. All right, Greg. Thank you. Talk to you soon, dude.
Bye, buddy. Bye,
okay,
Caleb.
bye.
See you, Greg.
Yeah, Trudeau is the worst human alive. I agree. He's definitely up there. Canada hates him.
Big old shitty human.
It sounds like Canada had some elections the other day, and their whole shit's swinging far to the right. Thank God.
Wow, it's about time. Only took them 4 years, 5 years, 6 years.
All right. Hey, dude, I really want to hang out with you. Oh, let me see what's going on. Let me see. Let me just see really quick. I fucked this all up. I let Avi off the hook for surf camp, and now I want him to go. And he's probably so bummed. It's so cold in the morning when he gets there.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, and he got to put on
Hey.
Hey.
Hi.
How's Prince Avi doing?
He's practicing the piano. He's doing the lesson that his teacher gave him.
So he's on the piano. Can you take me the phone? Take the phone to him.
Yeah.
Let him
He's
know
pretty pissed.
Let him know we're live. Tell him not to say anything crazy. Tell him to act cool. Don't like cry or anything or make me look like a bad dad.
Okay, fine.
See how this fucking goes. This is risky. You know this is risky right here, right?
Big time. You don't know what's going to come out of that kid's mouth.
Yeah, this could get crazy.
For life.
What did he say?
I said he doesn't want to talk for the first time in his life.
Tell him we're on the air. Tell him it's on the podcast.
I did.
And he said no?
He's running from me.
Oh, shit.
Oh, he's really pissed.
Oh, hey, Caleb.
Oh, hi.
All right,
Oh.
that's my fault. I fucked up. Okay. Okay. Maybe I will. Oh, I don't know. Okay. Okay. I got to figure this out. All right. Thanks, babe.
Okay, I tried
I know. I fucked it up.
angles.
It's okay. That was my bad.
No, I wasn't.
All right. I'll come inside in a few
Okay.
minutes. Okay. Love you. Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
love you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Sorry. All right. Shit.
Oh no. You just can't please him.
I just hate. He's so good in the morning too. If he knows what he's gonna do, he's just fucking a warrior. And he probably got
Now he's got to recalibrate for something else.
Yeah, and the fact that he's already practicing his piano on his own, and he's just such a good boy. But he's so spoiled too, in the sense that like he has 3 wetsuits that he can like circle through, so he never has to wear a wet one.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. But I mean, that's good. You know, it's not like you're. It's not really spoiled. It's smart.
All right. What is today? Today's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Around the whiteboard.
What was that today?
I wanted to. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to like put Greg in a funnel, but I tried to put him in a funnel this morning. Did you hear any of the show this morning?
Yeah, I heard like from start. I was like, okay, this like maybe we'll get somewhere and like learn some crazy details or something, and then kind of went off the rails.
Yeah, but it was good. It was still great. I give it a 10 out of 10. But like I wanted to. I was curious if I could get him to like take my metaphor and run with it.
Yeah.
Of like, hey, from when you invented CrossFit to 15 to what it is today, but whatever. Someone's like, what was your question? What was your great question? That was my question. That was going to be it, you jackass. Who was that? Sean or Dan? Sean and Dan are the same person to me. I'm going to put them on the trolling scale. Oh, shit. The Hawk 2E girl's in here. Okay. Safe space, girl. Always safe. Welcome to the show.
Love that.
You give everything a 10 out of 10. Oh. Oh, this is my wife. Oh, shit. Hey.
Hi, Heidi.
Hi. Who is this? Hello? Who is this?
Ari.
Oh, no, wrong son. I love you. Bye. Can you get Avi on the phone?
Sure.
Okay.
Avi, this is Heidi. She wants to speak to you.
Oh, he told Avi it's his grandmother.
Oh, shit.
This is Heidi. Heidi, this is my
All right.
Don't ever let Ari call in again. Now you're in trouble.
Bye.
Bye. God damn it. The fuck? She thinks this is son. She doesn't take the podcast seriously. This isn't just like any kid. Any kid can't just call in.
Yeah, just let them all. Fuck it. Just speed dial.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, Ari don't give a fuck. Ari's cool as shit. That's my most emotional one and toughest one. He's a bad dude.
That's so funny.
So Pedro has a show today. I think Spin has a show today, right? The boys have a show. Barbell Spin does. They have their version of the CrossFit Games update show every Wednesday.
Yeah, it looks like 6 or I guess 4:30 Pacific Standard Time. Yeah.
Okay, and then who else? Get with the programming. What do they got going here? Oh, I had fun on their show yesterday.
Yeah, it looks cool.
It felt awkward. Oh, they have a show today at 1:15, ranking the rookies for 2024 CrossFit Games with John Young.
Ooh, John's busy today.
Busy. So you can go from this show to around the whiteboard to get with the programming. And then does Shut Up and Scribble go to? No, that's Thursdays.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
And then obviously Hiller's I haven't seen this video yet, but Hiller put out a video that looks gnarly.
It's pretty good, dude.
You've seen it?
Yeah, I watched this. I watched it early this morning. It's really good.
I cannot fucking believe how many comments this thing has. Holy shit, dude. When I saw it this morning, it had 184 comments. Now it has 231, and the day hasn't even started.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Is it just did you watch it regular speed?
Yeah. Yeah, I had
So
to.
47 minutes of just Hiller
Getting
doing
ass
Hiller?
pounded.
Wow. Is it Bryce Smith level ass pounding? Would you say that's the biggest? That's that dude took it the hardest. Like Hiller went balls deep on him with some Viagra.
Yeah, I suppose so. But I think it just blew up the biggest. I don't think that Bryce took it the hardest. I think it was just like that was the most monumental one. I think this is like it's on par with like just getting shit on. Yeah.
How about is it on par with the DeGrau guy?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Oh, Nelly.
He just rips him apart, man.
Oh, wow. Dawn takes it. It's Dawn who gets the pounding.
It's just Dawn for 50 minutes.
I wonder if Dawn will go on when Dawn's next if that's going to make it so he doesn't do podcasts anymore. Can Dawn lean into it all and have fun with it, or is Dawn going to get defensive or shell up? Turtle.
He should lean into it. He should be like, yeah, I don't watch your videos, but everybody tells me they're negative, so I just think they're negative. Like he won't even watch that video, just like Dave won't watch the video about all the good things Hiller found about CrossFit.
The problem is this, dude, and I'm open to disagreeing with me, but if they have 100 people who work there, 99 of them are going to watch it.
Yeah, so they need to watch it.
And so that means, like, everyone on the seminar staff is going to watch it. Everyone, like, all the departments, affiliates are going to watch it. Media is going to watch it. Everyone's going to watch it. And then it's going to be just weird. It's just going to be weird.
I think everybody's going to watch it, and they're just still going to think that Hiller's hating.
It's like if you read your wife's text and she's texting with someone inappropriately, like she's having, and you don't tell her, there'll be that between you and them, you and your wife. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
It's like you're hiding something from your wife. So if all the staff watch it and he doesn't watch it, or it's not talked about, it's going to be like this weird thing in the room.
Every time you see Dawn, you're like, holy shit, I've seen your underwear drawer.
Yeah. Will this affect Sevy's behind the scene chances? I hope not.
If there were any, it seems like.
No, they have to listen. I'm the champion of there's no media source better than the Sevon podcast that champions affiliates in the level 1. How could they not?
You're
they
right.
Have to appease me. They have to like work with me. I'm a good dude to them.
Done more for their own community than they have.
I'm navigating the politics like a champ. What?
I agree.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm navigating the politics like a champ. I recognize that.
Did you take any like PR training for that? Like did you have to do like
no? I recognize
PowerPoint?
CrossFit is an agent of change, and that personal accountability and responsibility, it can't be avoided if you're in the CrossFit ecosystem, and that slowly, even if there are some lost sheep in the flock, some lost souls in the flock, that they'll eventually find their way. They'll find their way.
Very well said.
Thank you. If Sevon identifies as black, will net okay is higher. What is this? There was another funny one. Graciano, do you still have your L1? What did he say that somewhere?
Right here.
No, like an active one, like a one that would like no, I couldn't legally teach at an affiliate, if that's what you mean.
You got to stay 500 feet away from all affiliates at all times.
I mean, I don't have I don't have like a current L1. That's not CrossFit anymore, though. CrossFit is just a company, no longer stands by what it used to. Greg Seed.
Sad.
It wouldn't shock me if they tried to leverage Sevon's influence against Hiller. That's impossible.
I don't know. That'd be a tough ask.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't. $1 million.
I don't know, man.
Listen,
Hiller's
dude,
like,
he's a force of nature. There's no like, what are you gonna do?
He's just a really nice guy, too. Like, he's good. He's a good person to be friends with. You know, and like all this aside, like be friends with him any day.
I told you guys this before. I try to treat Hiller. I have the same simple method for Hiller and Dave. Don't stand in front of them. Don't be like, you know what I mean? Like Hiller has X-ray vision, and so does Dave. And if you stand in front of them, they're going to see your cock and balls. And so if you, I don't want my, I'm shy.
Oh, it's you watched The Boys, right? You're watching The Boys. Okay, so you know this, like the initial episode where his girlfriend gets fucking ran over by a train.
Not ran over.
Plowed through.
Different preposition. Through. Yeah.
Ran through. Yeah, ran through. That Dave and Hiller are a train. And if you stand in front of them, you're the girlfriend. You're dead. You're dust.
Just be cool.
You're pink mist. You're fucked.
Yeah.
Stay out of their way.
And hey, and if you do, and if you are in their circle sphere, there's gonna be like body parts that land on you and blood, and you know what I mean. Like it's just what you know what I mean. If it rains gifts on Hiller, it's gonna rain on you. It's just like whatever. You have to just accept the fact that whatever. He's a tornado, and just like if he goes by a fucking money tree, it's going to rain money. And if he goes by a fucking car lot, you got to watch out. Some cars are going to be falling from the sky. It's just what the nature of tornadoes.
Rising tides.
Yeah. 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 I'm crazy stimulated by that's the other. Yeah. I'm crazy stimulated by just everything, by it all. Fuck. All right. Now I'm just postponing the inevitable.
You're gonna have to go in there and face the child.
Well, now the Sturf camp starts in 2 minutes, so now I got to think if I'm willing to take him late. I think the first 30 minutes are a pretty hard warm up. Oh. Like not pretty hard. It's like basically they do something like, you know, like something that's like a half Murph every day to start the class. It's brutal, but that has swimming involved. I know, it's crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. They do a run, swim, run, swim, run, swim, run, swim, run, running upstairs shit. Yeah.
Like on the beach and stuff?
Yeah, on the beach. And he's in full wetsuit. But the thing is if he knows that we're getting there late, he might know that he doesn't. I mean, he never complains about that, but I'm trying to figure out like ways I can be like, hey, let's go now. Imagine you don't even have to do the workout.
Yeah.
Stop. Just hang out. You treat those boys so well. It's okay to fuck up time to time. I know. But I can't like, dude, listen. They can't just be in the house.
Right.
Yeah, I swim good. I mean, not like swim team good, but like I swim good. Like I'm not scared of the ocean at like 0.
I'm trying to go swimming out here, but we've had so many shark attacks. I did not want to go out there.
Yeah. Hey, do you want me to show you something that I haven't shown my wife? I'm fucking freaked out if she sees this. You're gonna fucking trip. I wonder. Probably all you guys are gonna trip.
Oh no.
So there's the largest school of great whites in the history of the bay we live in, and it's a small bay, and they claim there's 24 great whites in there right now living in there.
Nuh-uh.
Dude, and it's like you're not even, and this just, I just typed in Santa Cruz great whites. There's, I don't know how it hasn't popped on my wife's radar yet, but watch this. I mean, they're everywhere supposedly out there right now.
So the juvenile sharks here average 7 to 8 feet. You know, we get an occasional 10 to 13 footers. They're all juveniles or subadults.
They're in Soquel Bay. I live in Soquel. That's like where Avi surfs, and they're in the shallow water.
They're coming in to warm up. If the water temperatures drop below 60 degrees, they leave. If it's above 60 degrees, we see a lot of sharks. Today I was out there droning. I only saw 5 sharks. The water temp dropped.
5 sharks. I was out there droning, and I saw 5 sharks.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's like 2 miles from my house where I'm sitting right now.
Dropped a little bit, but they're really not out to get surfers or they're there to warm up the cove.
Okay. They're just there to warm up. Hey, dude, and there's so many surfers in the water right now.
It's cool. They're not there for the people.
There's a lot of misconceptions. There's a lot of rumors. There's a lot of misinformation. A lot of people are saying they're breeding out there. A lot of people.
Dude, there's so many. They said they've never seen so many great whites in this bay. And it's a small bay. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could fly my drone across it. It's small. It's not.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. People are saying they're coming in the feed. That's just not true. They're there to warm up. They feed off Soquel Point, the reef.
Soquel Point. Dude, I live in the tiny little town called Soquel. So crazy.
It's the rock. Oh. But for the most part, they're docile and they're not going to bother anybody.
Okay, well, they like you because they were smiling. I don't know what they were thinking when they looked at you. That smile.
Dude, it's crazy.
Holy
it's
shit.
Crazy how many there are.
Absolutely not.
Let me see if new Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz County Shark has been especially active this year. Over the past 10 years, an area of Soquel Cove between New Brighton Beach and State Beach and Rio Del Mar. That's where they surf. The ocean is, let's see, since about 2014, juvenile white sharks have been moving up the coast from Baja California in higher numbers than they had historically. Why? Because of mass warm water that scientists dubbed the blob. Damn.
No thanks.
Damn. Yeah, they actually call them white sharks instead of great white sharks. Surveyed an area from a helicopter 2 weeks ago, counting a whopping 50 to 60 sharks. A big increase from the 10 to 20 that researchers often spot with aerial summer view. Yeah. I don't think, I think if my wife found out about this, she'd put the fucking kibosh on surfing. I have definitely not told my kids about this. This is like a huge story.
You think they'd care?
What?
You think they'd care? Your kids?
Fuck, I would care.
Like no concept of.
Oh yeah, that's right by my house, right there. See, oh, you can't see it. Look at this. They made a GIF of a shark swimming. I don't even know if, and that's right by my house. Like there's some stairs there that I walk with my mom.
Oh, there's Haley.
Thank God it's not. Hey, what's up, dude? Yo.
Hey, dude.
Hey.
If great white sharks are called great white sharks, why aren't killer whales called great black sharks?
Great black whales?
Great black whales. There's a shark.
That's a really good question. I wonder if they have a great, do they even have a great black, I'm just going to type in great black. Oh, it came up great black wasp. There's a great black wasp. Oh, yeah. And I've seen these around.
Not quite as badass.
Yeah, I've seen these before. It's pretty fucking intense.
We need to change that. We need a great black shark.
Okay, let me just type in great black shark before we say that there's nothing. Geez, the birds in your area. The great black shark. Oh, it's a musical band. Oh, scientists find an all black shark. Wow. Wow, dude. I don't want to come across as insensitive, but a black shark's scarier looking than a white shark.
Let's go.
Fuck, this thing is crazy looking. Look at its mouth, dude, where it is.
Oh, what the fuck is that?
Wow.
Oh, but it's only 1.5 feet long.
Oh, so it just bites your dick off. That's it.
Wow.
1.5 meters.
1.5 feet long, and it's 5,000 feet below the surface of the ocean. It lives down at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's lame.
A mile deep. They hang out a half mile to a mile deep.
Look at those
Wow,
teeth.
dude, its teeth are translucent.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Huh. You think some great white sharks identify as black sharks?
Yes.
They identify as gonna fuck you up.
That is a great question.
Good answer.
Yes.
I did have a serious question.
Okay.
Although that was pretty cool, finding out about great black sharks. I'm going to say something, and I just want to hear your reaction or your response to it. And it has to do with your boy, Dave Castro. I feel like he's been infected. I feel like Dave Castro has been infected. And what I'm specifically talking about in this case is his response to Hiller's video about Annette and the things she was saying. And then his response to it on this week in review. I'm watching that. I'm just shaking my head like, I don't know what's going on. I get being a leader, having your team's back. I've been there. I get it. But as a leader, you also have to be able to call your team out, hold them accountable, whether it's Hiller or anyone saying anything about them. So when I watch that, I'm like, man, I feel like homeboy's been infected by
Jeremy, do you think Dave Dave calls Annette and be like, hey, Annette, just out of curiosity, do you still practice discriminatory hiring practices based on skin color? And is that still do you think he does that? No, so you don't. So basically, it's only one instead of like, but then we did see DeCoons walk back saying that CrossFit's dangerous. So what you're saying is he came forward facing and said, hey, I've never been asked to hire anyone based on their genitalia, their skin color, or their sexual preference. And it's not fair to go after Annette for that. That's what he said, right? But he didn't say that he didn't say that she doesn't do that. He said he doesn't do it.
Right. Totally. 100%.
Yeah.
Thing is, it was his reaction, his response was more of which I appreciate. Hey, come at me, and that's great. But Hiller's thing, I don't think is coming at Dave. It's just coming at the entity as a whole. And in this case, and I haven't watched today's video yet, Hiller's video yet. I look forward to it. But in this case, he's coming at someone that apparently works close with Dave. The things she was saying, how off base she is, and so many. And I'm a black guy. I don't claim that victim stuff. I don't think that if I smile too much, or if I'm told I smile too much, it has anything to do with my race. I don't know how she made that leap, but he's coming at her.
Hey, by the way, that was extremely bizarre, by the way, and I think that was disingenuous because other places in other interviews, I've heard her say that she gets criticized for being so aggressive, which is, that stereotypical and not unjustly so of the aggressive black woman. You know what I mean? The one who waves her hands and talks loud so you can hear her from 5 tables over. So that was a weird. I think she was having her watch. Here's the thing, Jeremy. I'm going to pivot a little bit, and I don't talk to Dave about this in specifics. It wouldn't be appropriate, but
sure.
What we're really just picking up from HQ right now is just dishonesty.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Don was like, yeah, fuck yeah, we believe in DEI, and yeah, of course we're high. You know what I mean? Like we're just picking up dishonesty and double talk and political talk. And so like if they were just honest, and they can't be because they can't be for some reason. But if all that outside of the black and white thing and the hiring and everything else and being critical of no refs and this, what the community is in the big picture we're picking up is just a lack of honesty. And when Pedro says, "Hey, are you tripping, Don, that a dude in his garage drinking C4 makes has 100 times the views as all of CrossFit HQ media?" Don needs to be like, "Yeah, that's fucked up. We need to work on that." Not, "Hey, we've been looking at the numbers and we're doing pretty good." You know what I mean? It's like he's talking to the So that's in the big picture. That's all we're all picking up on it, because at least in this group, because we just want you to be honest. And like, maybe he doesn't even know how to be honest. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know the level of people's ability to be honest. It's just like, hey,
once they go down that rabbit hole far enough, it's very hard to be honest. It's just a whole bunch of word soup, and that's what you get from Don.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. It's just like Dave was always that honest guy. He was always that, like, hey man, even if you come back with something negative, you know, let's talk about it. But for some reason, when Hiller does it, he gets, I don't know, is the correct term butthurt? He gets super butthurt, and instead of being like, you know what, he might be onto something, maybe we'll talk about it in next week's review, I don't know, whatever. He just attacks Hiller, defends the net. I'm like, I don't know. That's why I asked.
Like if Annette came out and said, "Yeah, I'm fucking hiring black people because I feel more comfortable around them," instead of going the other way, saying, "Hey, I didn't get hired at my job because of I'm a black woman and it has nothing to do with the woman because I'm black." And hey, and you can't say stuff like that unless you give evidence, right? Like, so if you tell me, you know what I mean? And so if I tell you, "Hey, someone crossed the street because I was black," like that's just complete bullshit. And then, you know, their default is, "Well, that was my experience." I know we're not talking about your experience. We're talking about what's true or not true. So like, if she knows that because she saw it written on paper, you know, like Disney has this thing written on paper somewhere. If you're not a Jewish man, you can't be hired on the executive team or some shit. It's like, yeah, we need to see the fucking proof. And so other than that, it's just your insecurity being projected onto the world. And we're all smelling that. And it's just it's uncomfortable. And so Hiller just keeps going at it. Yeah. I don't know. I think Dave's trying to keep his head down and get his job done. But because this is my 2 cents, and I have not spoken to him about this, but because he has that forward facing show, he does not want to appear like he's avoiding anything. Right. And so it's being, and I think I'm assuming that if he works with Annette, that he does, I trust that he has a good relationship with her. And so I think more than defending her, he's also just wants to make sure that he doesn't appear like he's afraid to address anything. That's would be my thought. That's what I like to do. That's what I like to do. Like, even if I'm afraid to address something, I'll want to come on here and be like, "Sorry guys, I'm afraid to address that." Like, I at least want to be honest about my fear.
For sure. I wish that's what I'm saying. Is kind of like he could have taken that road and been like, you know what, I'm not in a place to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. But instead he comes out with this defense as if he's defending you or something, you know, someone that we know is no nonsense. And instead he's defending someone who seems almost entirely made up of nonsense. And it was just kind of one of those, like, I just had that thought when I was watching. I was like, man, this isn't Dave that I remember. And I'm not you, so I'm not like his best buddy, but like, this isn't the Dave of yesteryear, you know.
Here's also what's more interesting. Like, Dave would never need to defend me. Like, he would never defend me because he knows that maybe I would even think it was an insult. Like he wouldn't need to. And I'm guessing he does feel like he needs to, for people who are there, especially people who, I mean, you know, as well as I know, like, anyone who hasn't been there for more than 5 years has absolutely no idea what's really going on. Like, they just have no idea what's going on. It's birth. What is it? Baptism by fire. Like, they're like, holy shit, what is this place I'm in? Like we seriously, like, what's that thing that Jocko says? Something accountability or
extreme ownership.
Yeah.
Extreme ownership,
basically think of another community that has more extreme ownership than this one. There isn't one. So when you come into it, there's no blaming. Like, the blame game's hard here, man. Whew. And if that's your biggest tool, man, you are in intimidation and bullying and all that shit. None of that shit's fucking tolerated here.
It seems to be, though. That's like the growing thing, no?
Not
HQ and these hires.
well, what I'm saying is
not
just from the out
at all.
No, but I'm just saying like people like Hiller, like that's why they view it as just attacking and whatnot, or like they don't view it as help. They don't realize that basically what he's doing is he's maintaining the culture of accountability and personal accountability and personal responsibility, but they see it as attacking. Like if you walk by, like if you so when we went and filmed at the West Coast Classic, all that was on the counter basically, except some jackass put out a bowl of cookies. It was just every night everyone just ate steak and fruit, and there was a high level of accountability and personal responsibility to do like don't be a scumbag. You know what I mean? And it's just the social pressure of like hanging out with the guys there, and everyone worked out every day, and if you didn't, they drag you to work out and just shit like that. And it's like, man, that's
and that's a great example of what I'm thinking, and what it seems like with me is why I think this infection thing is Dave doesn't have that many men or women like you guys, like the crew that you're just referring to. He's less and less. And when you start when you're in a group where that's less and less, that person that holding each other accountable, holding yourselves accountable, living up to a standard, so on and so forth. When that starts to dwindle, there's less and less people around you like that. And in fact, you have more and more of the Annetts and the DeCoons and Don, the people that just can talk really good, people that put a lot of excuses. You either start to become that person or like them, or you don't. And then you're super lonely and doing a bunch of shit yourself. And I wonder if Dave is kind of just like, well, if I want to keep my job here, I'm just going to have to, I don't want to say he's becoming like them, but he's allowing some of their nonsense to infect him in certain ways. And I don't know, maybe I'm being a little bit too critical or harsh on the guy. I still love him. He's awesome. He's given us a lot. But
hey, if someone's on your team, though, if someone's on your team, you're going to try to bring them along, right? So so they're on it. Him and Annette and Don are on a team together, and they're probably trying to bring Dave along, and Dave's trying to bring them along, right? And fair
enough,
you know. And so
but I don't know if Dave has it in him to really go in that direction. I think he's trying. I think he's towing that line again to keep his job and do. Hey, I don't think he can do it for much longer.
Hey, and that's an interesting observation. I probably don't want to have that one on the air though, but if you want to talk about it privately, I would. I'd be curious
for sure.
But because that's just such crazy speculation. But I will say this: him doing this series of videos with the athletes, like that, there's something's going on there. That is way out of his lane. And dude, he is a guy who stays in his fucking lane. And that is way out of his lane. He is not a man. He'll get out of his comfort zone, but he always stays in his lane. And that's indicative of something he's feeling. Oh, David Weed thinks you're gay. The caller sounds super gay. Are you super gay?
Not super, just a little.
Semi.
Just a little.
Kind of gay?
Semi. Yeah, kind
of. Semi gay.
David loves me.
David Gora. Also, why is he doing it so quickly, dude? Like 10 interviews in the last 24 hours. I mean, he's got 80 to get through so quickly. Right?
Yeah, he's got a lot of athletes.
Yeah. Hey, you know what I'd love to see?
What are the?
You know what I want to see him, Jeremy? I want to see him start going live.
Those aren't live.
I don't.
The athlete ones.
I've only seen one so far. I've only seen the Brooke Wells one, but it wasn't live. But if he starts going live, dude, it will be amazing.
They're not live.
Live is so much better. I think that would be. They're not live, Caleb?
Negative. They're all just posted after the fact.
Okay, so he's done 4. Yeah, he's basically needs to stay on pace for 2 a day if he's going to do them all. So he's on pace 2 a day right now. I think
he's on pace.
He's on pace. It is wild though to see him doing that for the reasons you're talking about, but also I mean, we're 2 months out of the games. You're in the final prep of, you know, events, how it's going to look, everything. I'm like,
and hey, and
really
think of what it's doing for his relationship with all the athletes. Like that's probably the most he's ever talked to Fikowski or Justin Medeiros, or probably he's never said one word to Luke Parker. It's going to be a dynamic change. Clydesdale Media, he will never go live. Why not? I mean, maybe I'm not suggesting you're wrong, but why not?
The athletes will ask him to cut stuff out or something, probably.
Oh, sure. Especially if he interviews Camille. I'm kidding.
Be Friendly Fitness. Clydesdale Media talked about it yesterday on a show. Booking is a pain in the ass. Oh God, tell me about it. Good. That's a really good point.
He doesn't have a Sousa.
I mean, yeah. I don't even know if Dave has an assistant. No,
Hiller.
They need to be live. They need to be live because of what it will do for him and the audience. Because if Dave starts going live regularly, he'll start building his own community. And when he starts interacting with people, there'll be a massive dynamic shift. Something that I can't really explain. Hey, Jeremy, let me ask you this. Oh, damn. You know what I wanted to ask Greg today? I wanted to ask Greg today if he wishes he would have we would have done this podcast when he was CEO and gone live every week, once a week.
That would have been
dangerous.
Well, when he's CEO again, come August, then you guys can do it.
Yeah, good point.
What were you gonna ask?
That's it. I don't know. I don't know. All right.
Hey, don't be hard on yourself about screwing the pooch here, man. You do a lot for those boys. It's okay. It's okay to not be perfect. Okay?
Hey, how dare you?
I know, right?
But being such a shitty dad, Savon.
If you're
yourself up, man.
If you're an athlete, Christian Kettler, if you're an athlete and you don't go on Dave's show, then you're as dumb as the ones that don't come on here. Yeah, I agree.
Good point. That is a good point, Christian.
Argue on that, Christian.
CrossFit, Clydesdale, what's weird is him not going live, but including technical issues like the Brooke episode. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking, CrossFit too. Yeah, all he has to do, he just has to include those. That's the charm of Dave. That's the charm. Just all the fuck ups and just all.
He doesn't know how to post produce, but he's just gonna record it and post it anyway. Not gonna cut anything out, but he'll just.
Have you told him to go live? I think you were saying that the other day. You told him you should do live.
Yeah, I really want him to do live.
What do you say?
No.
What did he say? I think I forget. I don't want to misquote him. I'll say it to him again today and see what he says, and then I'll text him today. Hey, dude, you should go live and see what he says.
Love it.
All right, cool. Thanks, dude.
Hey, great chatting with you guys. See you later.
Thanks.
Caleb, stay cool.
Later, dude.
I swear, I'm ready to fucking start my own fitness program. I'm going to have 100 of these. You guys should get used to seeing these. This was made by Brett over at, I'm going to have 100 of these soon after the film contest. Remember, those of you who want to enter the film contest, it has to be, it's a campaign. You're going to be submitting a campaign. But I have so many of these already pouring in. So a campaign is like 5 videos, 30 seconds to 90 seconds. I'm going to play one for you. I'm going to have the guy Brett on who made all these, but I'm just going to play one for you because I'm so fucking excited. Here we go.
There's no magic cure to getting you out of that mindset of focusing on how you look. But an affiliate is, in my opinion, by far the best place to help you with that shift. Before starting at the gym, I was somebody who just always wanted to be smaller, and I always wanted to look a certain way, and I was never satisfied with my body, all my goals were focused around, all of my exercise was like, how do I get as small as possible? And so I was like super unhealthy. Like I wasn't eating and all sorts of stuff. Unfortunately, like when I had gotten really bad, Megan had me join here. So it was very quickly that I was like, okay, well, if I want to like lift with all of these other girls, and if I want to like keep up with them, and if I want to be strong and all those things, this has to switch. It was like within 6 months, I like realized that switch where it was like all of a sudden on my Instagram feed, instead of like tiny little people, I had like these strong, beautiful, capable women that could lift hundreds of pounds. So this for me has been a whole mindset shift of like, I now appreciate my body for what it can do, not what it looks like. In here, we don't care what you look like as long as you're hitting what you want to achieve.
Damn.
Holy
Seven
shit.
Podcast partnering with Two Brain.
That's cool.
Yeah, those are going to be my pee breaks. I'm going to have like 100 of those, just showing the power of what you can do in an affiliate.
Damn, you're going to have to drink a lot of water. Play all those.
Yeah. I'm gonna start drinking a shitload of Fit Aid here in a minute. I'm getting ready. I'm ramping up. I'm gonna have like seriously like 50 cases of Fit Aid sent to my house, and I'm just gonna
slab of Fit Aid.
Yeah. Oh, like a pallet. I wonder if I could order so much Fit Aid that it has to come like in a truck, and they have to like put lower down a small pallet.
That would be dope.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna I'm gonna have a wall of Fit Aid because I'm ramping up. I'm gonna be doing we have so many shows coming up. I'm basically gonna invite all the athletes on the show again. So I have to guess like 40 will accept. And then I'm gonna start doing the CrossFit Games update shows every Friday here soon. I think this Friday is the first one. And a Paper Street coffee's in the morning. A Paper Street coffee would be a better option to drink. Yeah, Paper Street coffee is always the morning beverage. And then I'm going to pivot to just during the games, get all my creatine needs. Where's the link to the competition? There isn't. You mean like a landing page where you talk about it? There isn't. Basically, but I'm going to have the guy on for like the official launch of the contest. But it'll be kind of ghetto. The submission process. Basically, I'm guessing you'll upload them unlisted to YouTube, or you send them in Google Drive to Caleb, and then I'll start just putting them in. CrossFit dropped Sean Woodland.
Huh?
I mean, I don't think he ever worked. I don't think he worked there. Not sure if you saw this. He made a post. Oh shit.
I think he's private. I don't even think I could see his page.
Instagram.
Oh, there it is. Oh, wow. Here we go.
Oh, God. I knew a day would come for this post, but I was hoping that it would be a time of my choosing. Unfortunately, in this business, people rarely get to go out on their terms. Oh, Nelly.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, God. I feel a little sick to my stomach. I've been informed that I will not be calling the CrossFit Games this year. To say that I'm disappointed would be a major understatement. I was far from ready to give up a role that was meant more to me in my career than any other I have had. As of this writing, I have not been told why the decision was made or who ultimately made the call. Ooh. This might have been premature, Mr. Woodland. This post. I also do not know if this is a temporary thing, but 25 years in broadcasting has taught me that once you're out, you rarely ask to come back. I hope that's not the case in this instance. I probably shouldn't have made this post. Isn't going to help. As disappointed as I am right now, and I'm disappointed too. That's crazy. That's so weird not to have Sean. I'm equally excited for Chase Ingram. He has the opportunity to call the games in his home state. Oh, this is getting fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
Did they announce somewhere who the this is getting really weird. He has more than earned his chance, and I cannot wait to hear him on the mic. Chase has been an incredible broadcast partner and friend over the past few years, and I wish him the best. He's going to do a fantastic job. Chase has been around for fucking as long as Sean.
Yeah, right.
Or, you know, close. Maybe more, maybe a few years less. There's so many people I want to thank for these last 12 years, and I plan on reaching out to all of them directly in the coming weeks. I do, however, want to take this opportunity to thank all of the fans and the athletes. Without your passion and dedication to the sport, I would not have been able to realize my dream of doing play-by-play on national television. It has been the honor of a lifetime to be able to describe the incredible efforts at the CrossFit Games. I hope I did them justice. You did. You were amazing. You're the best who ever did it. I mean, I will miss seeing people who have become like family to me. No, that wouldn't be me, unless it's the uncle you hate. I will miss seeing people who have become family to me over these past 12 years. I will miss all the late night meetings and early morning call times. I'll miss all the laughs I've shared with my best friends. I'll miss seeing Rookie get excited about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I'll miss the weekend hug from Roth. I'll miss giving Mike Arsenault crap for being Canadian. But most of all, I will miss the acai bowls. This isn't goodbye. It's see you later. I'm still planning on being a part of the sport and community. Take care of each other and be better, and I'll see you soon. There's no better commentator in the sport. Yeah. Wow. What the fuck? The Chase thing's so weird. What the fuck's going on? Yeah, this is insane. Someone wrote, I needed a dislike button. This is sad. So sad to hear this. This is sad. Wow, what is going on? How the fuck do they make that decision?
Who's going to replace him?
So I don't know this for a fact, guys, but bear with me here. I'll just paint the context of this a little bit. The way it works is there's a company out there owned by this coolest dude in the fucking world named Charlie Doobie. And he's been around forever, and he's young. I don't know, like 35. And he owns this company called Hamilton Road. I could be
Hamilton Roads.
Hamilton Roads. And they do production for like anyone could hire them. You give them $500,000 and they'll come film your bar mitzvah, or they could film the Super Bowl. They're just a big production company that Charlie fucking is what a stud started. And they can just cover events, like just whatever event it is. And they've been covering the CrossFit Games for fucking ever. They got Charlie used to work at CrossFit. Then he built this outside production company. CrossFit started. I think Joe Novello was, I think, his mentor in the beginning. And Joe and Charlie worked at CrossFit together. And then I think Joe inspired Charlie to start his own company. And then I know that Charlie and Sean and Tommy are very close, and that they've always had some sort of business relationship. I don't know if Tommy and Sean like worked for Charlie or if they were contractors, but there was some relationship there, some relationship with Talking Elite Fitness, but they were a team regardless of what it said on paper. And so I think what would happen is Charlie would go, he would get a call from someone, from Justin Berg, and Justin Berg would say, hey, Charlie, can you cover semifinals? Charlie would be, yeah, it's going to be $6. Justin would say, okay. And then it would happen. And the same thing with the games. And I assume Charlie's doing the games this year, although I don't know that for a fact. But then Charlie would put the team together, and the team would be, whoever, whatever the guys, Bill, Grundler, Chase, Sean, Tommy, just whoever, Tanya Wagner, he'd put the team together, Jamie Hagaya, and then they'd go there and they'd kick ass. And then there's a bunch of that guy, Roth, he described, that's like a truck dude. That guy might be like the producer or the director of the cameras or something. But there's this same group of guys, you start to recognize them, even the cameramen. And Sean was integral, like, in that team. And if you see those people interact at the games or at the semifinals, they're like family. Like, you know what I mean? Ass slapping each other, high-fiving, hugging, eating from the same sandwich. You know what I mean? Like, they're like family. Like, that's their team. And so for Sean to be out, and Sean's very well respected, very, very, very well respected. You don't hear people like bad mouthing him. especially never about his work ethic. Yeah, they share towels. They probably share towels. I'm telling you, they're close. They're like, they're thick as thieves. Those guys, the whole team. They get up early and stay up late together. It's going to be an interesting story to see how that unfolds. Who made that decision? I can't, unless like Sean fucked Charlie's wife or something. I can't see Charlie and Sean separating ways ever. Something's amiss. That's a tragedy.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
They joke together, dude. I'm telling you, you know how it is. It's like they've all worked at the same restaurant together for fucking 10 years. Like they're good. They rock. Which is weird that they can't ever get the cameras right. So fucking weird. But to be honest with you, I can't think of anyone who's ever criticized Sean for the job he does.
Yeah, I don't think so. Of all the commentators, I think that we've had in the past,
just socially, he's been ass pounded, but not based on his merit for the job.
Right. When you put him on the mic and for these events, he does a really good job. He crushes.
Matt Souza said, "I'm pretty sure we could have Kilo build us a simple landing page for the video submissions and also with instructions on what to do." And okay, fuck, someone would have to do that. Okay, that's a good idea. All right, I'm going to take my boys to play tennis or something. I wonder if skate camp is happening. They have to do something. They can't just sit at home. It will fucking be insane.
Yeah, can't do that.
World War III. No, it's not World War III. It's more like WrestleMania.
That makes more sense for sure. People's elbows coming down on each other.
Dude,
ladder.
Ari and Joseph had a 1 hour fight. I timed it and I watched it the other day. Just a 1 hour fucking sparring match. And it finally ended when Joseph kicked Ari off of him and Ari went flying into a door hinge.
Oh.
Yeah, and his head split open and it swelled the side half. It was like this, dude. You know, like when your head swells, like when you get what's that called? A hematoma or something?
Yeah, sounds right.
But it split right on it, and I put ice on it, and it went away like in, I don't know, 5 minutes, but it was nuts.
Holy shit, dude.
Call the boys an Uber. Yeah, and once his swelling went down, they're like, "Can we keep fighting?"
No, go find something else to do.
In retrospect, it's kind of a weird show to have on Get With The Programming. It's kind of a weird show to have on Get With The Programming now. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe Sean's day rate is too much for HQ to swallow. I think that they have a close enough relationship where they would tell him that, "Hey, dude, lower your price." I mean, I tell Caleb that every day. Lower your price.
I don't have a price.
Lower your price.
I just come hang out.
Caleb's unbuyable. Every time I try to give him money, he sends it back. He's unbuyable.
I decline the transfer.
No. Oh, someone told me. I think someone said they sent me a Starbucks card the other day. That was weird. I never checked.
Oh wow.
All right, what a day. If you lower Caleb's salary anymore, he'll be paying you. Caleb, have you Venmo'd me for every show you've been on this year? I charge Caleb.
Probably get on that.
This is podcast lessons for Caleb. I charge him $25 a show. Throw that shit out. That Starbucks card. You know what? I was on the phone with a guy and he said, "Hey, I like you so much. I'm going to text you some money in the form of a Starbucks card." I never even opened it, Gabe. I swear to God, I didn't. I don't even know.
So when I first got here, I didn't have any Paper Street coffee. I just had I went to the commissary and just picked up like a big old bag of Starbucks that I could just grind up and throw in my coffee maker.
A little piece of Gabe just died.
Yes, immediately, as like within probably 5 minutes of me posting a video of me making coffee, he DM'd me and is like, "What are you doing? Throw that shit away." And I was like, "Oh, like I'm sorry. Like I just got like I don't even have an address yet. Like I'm sorry." And so then once I got an address, I sent it to him. He's like, "It's on its way." Right,
God,
thanks.
I love opening a bag of Paper Street coffee and sticking my nose in it.
Oh, it's so good.
Does everyone get it in beans? Like everyone?
I get it in beans.
Yeah, I get it in beans
I think
too.
you can get it ground however you want it. So like if you want Gabe to grind it like super fine, so you can make like espresso, and he'll just grind it fine. Or like coarse for drip coffee, he'll grind it coarse too.
On the website, you can ask for that, or
yeah, I think it's an option. Like when you to paperstreetcoffee.com, you can just like pick the narrator, let's say, and you get it in whole bean, coarse, fine, or medium ground or something like that, and then you can just have it delivered in the bag like that. Oh, tea bags too. I was thinking about getting some tea from you guys.
Oh, do you know what I have? I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about this.
Uh-oh.
And I haven't used them yet. They just came in the mail from Paper Street Coffee. Where do you go to the shop? I want to see if I can find it. Nope, I don't see it. Wait till dude, oh, that looks good. Bluebird.
Cool.
I have Gabe, when are you launching that thing that I have? It's a kind of coffee. It's dope.
Uh-oh.
It's so dope. So what do? I buy this and then asking if I want it blended. Oh shit.
Yeah,
okay. Oh shit. Okay. Fine, medium, coarse, whole bean. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have something.
Oh,
the games only. That's when you're gonna launch that new product. I can't wait to show you guys. Hey, you should send Rios. You should send Rios some, so he can make a video, dude, with it. The guesses are coming in. Super secret. I don't know if it's super secret. The postman knows.
He pulled some out of the package he delivered for you.
Kristen Kettler, instant coffee.
Damn, that'd be crazy.
Viagra coffee.
Viagra coffee. Crack cocaine. So there you go. Yep.
Cocaine coffee. Cocaine. All right. Oh, what a great show. Greg was wonderful today. Oh, here we go. This game again, huh? Caller, hi. Hello? Hello?
Are you still on?
Oh, yeah, I'm still on.
Oh, dope. I caught as you were going to leave.
Yeah.
Dope.
Hey, just talking to you makes me want to drink another cup of coffee. I'm going to make another cup.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it. Just put that little tea bag inside your mouth.
Yeah, your voice makes me just want to get teabagged.
In like a good way or like a bad way?
Is there any bad teabagging?
The type that you don't know about. There we go. Rios already has some already. He was like one of those people that got the tea bags.
Okay, but they're not tea bags.
So, but we're just gonna call them tea bags. I like the name.
I see. Awesome. I see. Very nice.
It's nice.
Our yeah. So we're only gonna sell them for the games. We'll probably do like a easy discount on that plus our cans, and then just have you guys have all the coffee out there.
So when you sell out that new product that you're coming out with, that'll be it. You'll never do that again.
This was a test run to see how good it was. It came back really, really good, and it's a small local. It's a small company that does it for us. We tried going with a big company, and they screwed us over. So we're like, you know what? we can't use big companies anymore. We have to stick with like the small like companies that have direct contact, like the owners and stuff like that. It just makes life easier.
When does it come out on the website?
Probably before the games or whenever Rios sends us a cool of it. We
Okay.
can start promoting it.
Awesome. Hey, what did you think about my affiliate? Did you see my affiliate commercial?
Oh, dude, that's so cool.
Thank you.
Like, imagine you, dude. Those are. Oh, okay. Speechless, right? Why am I speechless? Because it's so easy to do.
So easy.
Right. It's so easy to do. You can post one every single day. Let's say if you were CrossFit, and it's super anecdotal. It's super personal. It's not highly like it didn't take thousands of dollars to make. It took hundreds and someone that's passionate. You can't put a price on a passion project. You can't throw money at something or someone and say, hey, replicate video. It's impossible. It took the person who had that connection, who had the connection with that athlete and that had that intimate connection with the videographer, whoever it was, to something that's just pure and passionate. So that's the point. Like, hey, define CrossFit, show them that 30 in video, you're good to go.
Hey, and what a great resource just to show any woman or any man who's tripping on their body and just going straight for aesthetic and be like, hey, I just thought you'd see this. What a great thing just to show every kid once. Hey, just so you know, check this out.
You check so many boxes with that small video. Like so many boxes get checked, and what you have a few thousand people will see it through here, through the podcast and through, you know, your connection and your reach, but so many more see it if CrossFit decides to get behind it and stops with this whole middle management, has to talk to other management and all this bureaucracy that just keeps everything in limbo. Hasn't there been any videos? It's because middle management. It's because of bureaucracy. It's because of people not wanting to talk. And only certain get filtered through there. And obviously we know it's all the bad things. Yeah, that's my rant.
Yeah, for 40 grand, you could easily show one of those every other day on .com.
Dude, for having someone be like, hey, you want to be an intern? You get absolutely nothing, but your video is going to get put on CrossFit. You don't have to spend money. If that's what they're worried about, being in the black all the time, you don't need to spend a lot of money. You just need to give people the opportunity, passionate about it, and they'll make the content. You don't need to spend money. You're a big enough business that if you're worried about, hey, make sure that we make money so that when we sell, pay us more than what we bought it for. Like, dude, just leverage the community of thousands of people that are willing to make that video. Your call to action probably got you so many.
Look at this. Bernie Gannon, sorry to pivot. Bernie Gannon, Taylor should do a commercial for Paper Street, teabagging images of his adversaries. That's amazing. Hey, sorry, 1 second. Hey, Greg, what's up? What are you doing? I'm just getting off right now. I'll call you back in 2 minutes. Okay, bye.
All right, you guys go.
Okay,
Talk to you guys.
man. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Okay.
Teabagging with Paper Street Coffee. That's a great idea, Bernie. Okay. I'm doing it all. Caleb's doing it all. Seven Podcast is doing it all. Competitions, affiliate series, business advice, business direction. Having Greg Glassman on every Wednesday. How is it? Every affiliate should just start paying me $3,000 a year.
There you go.
I swear to fucking God.
Do all your marketing.
Yeah.
Too easy.
Yeah. And we'll pinch Hiller off some money, and then he can be like the shark that swims in our water, and anyone who comes close to our ecosystem, he visits their boat.
That's right. Just like the good old days where CrossFit actually defended
Training by Sentinel. We'll do Sentinel training. We'll just bring it all, just like draw a line around the whole thing.
Perfect.
Hey, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna try to get him to go to this. Just so you know, there's this restaurant on the beach here where you can sit on the patio. I'm gonna try to get him to go there. Just so you know, 10:30 a.m. party. All right, take my boys there. Love you guys. Caleb, thank you. I wish you lived close by.
Me too.
Okay. Talk to you guys soon. Do I have a show? What's my show tomorrow? Let me tell you what the show is tomorrow real quick. Tomorrow might be the guys from jail. Do you remember the guys I had on from jail? They had life sentences and they were teaching CrossFit in the jail. Those guys are coming on again tomorrow.
Really?
Crazy, right?
Holy
I know.
shit.
I know. Souza and my sister teamed up to get that. I have, yeah. I find it hard to believe that that's actually going to happen, but I'm so excited. One of the best shows. Yeah, that show was crazy.
That was so cool.
Yeah, I wept like a little bitch. All right. Talk to you guys again sometime in my life. Bye-bye.